Yeah, they tell me that I would never be set free. Well, I'm a parasite, mama, without a creeping, crawling, and slipping to the night. 2 pints of booze. Tell me, are you a bad bitch too? You a bad bitch too now? Ain't got no money to spend. I hope this night would never ever end. Yeah, Lord knows that I'm weak. Won't somebody get me off of this here reef? Well, baby, you're a big blue whale. Yes, I grabbed that reef when all the diving failed. I could swim, but I wish I never learned. I said the water's much too polluted with germs. But I dive deep when it's 10 feet overhead. Oh, and I grabbed that reef right underneath my bed. Underneath my bed, y'all. Ain't got no quarrels with God. I got no time to get old. No, no, no. Lord knows that I'm weak. Won't somebody... Hydrofield cuts through my neighborhood.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. How is everybody? Are you like, are you happy it's Friday, or is this really a Friday for you?
All right, there's the Shanda.
And I have Steve with us, and we have Chanda joining us from Roar Media. I'm going to bring her right in.
Hope everybody's having a good Friday.
Hello, beautiful.
Hi! Yay! I'm trying to shut some background noise off. I got a couple of instances. So. How are you?
Good.
Doing okay. Hanging in there, you know.
How goes it?
How goes it, Steve? I can hear you. I can't see. You're like God.
No, I'm a disembodied voice.
Disembodied voice. Yeah. How do I make this larger? I don't use StreamYards or very often, so forgive me. I'm technologically challenged.
You are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You're among your people.
Okay, I know.
Yes.
That's true.
There, like if there's like some kind of special like hand signal, I don't know it yet, but you know, there's definitely some technical challenge.
That's funny. Poor Oz and I have been fighting the Zoom all damn day, and I mean they're the simplest of programs, but fighting them is just such a nightmare. Why?
Zoom.
I'm trying to. That works for us. Yeah. I was trying to put a Beauty and the Boomer background up.
That's so cute. I love it. So,
Oh, that's not our new one. We got new ones coming out that we've been working on. I've had so much fun learning how to use the Canva and animate shit, and I can't wait to start helping everybody out that wants stuff like that for their shows.
Sweet.
I will take something cute.
Anytime. Hey chat, what's up? How's it going? Popeye, I see you.
Popeye said Popeye didn't commit suicide. He
That's
would
right.
never unsubscribe like that.
He is not suicidal, no matter what
He
Jesse
is not
Smollett says.
unsubscribable. Dude.
Dude, who gets an appeal in 5 fucking days?
No.
Yeah, he got an appeal, got it granted, and he's already out. I've never heard of such a creature in my life.
But yet, you know, Assange is
Juice
you know,
card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's-
exactly.
Jack Sith, what up, buddy? Charlie Brown.
Oh, hey, Oz. I see Oz is here hanging out.
Yes.
Oz, my partner. So what's up? It's Friday night. I'm old. I go to bed early on Fridays. I can't believe you guys are up this late. I'm like, fuck, it's like 10 o'clock there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we start sometimes
Yeah.
at like midnight.
We start
like,
late.
Well, dude, midnight stream is like
You hardcores.
Ricky Rants came on the
I
what was
saw
it,
that.
Thursday. We were on for 6 hours. Like we like just didn't
was
really
just
talk
ranting.
before it. We would just like went off and we went
Yeah,
down the rabbit hole. It
They
was
were like
so much
collectively
fun.
ranting individually. It
Yeah.
Nice.
was
Well, I
lots of
hope we
ranting.
get into some good rants. I got some good topics in my head for us to talk about. I mean, we got the
Fuck
Hunter
yeah.
Biden laptop that was confirmed. Come on. I confirmed that when I
Yeah.
watched it 18 months ago.
Right? No, that's great. That on this show we kind of like to just talk to the people who be the content creators and shit,
Right.
and just let them just talk about shit they want to fucking talk about. You know, you got some shit on your mind, let us know.
We have
No,
serious
that's awesome because a lot of times we go and we do these shows, and a lot of us, you know, we bring formatting content. And so you don't know a lot about the people. You know, I used to do a show called The Accidental Activist, and many people know me as The Accidental Activist. And I haven't done that show because I haven't been doing a lot of on the ground politics or protesting lately. But really, that show was that kind of concept where I just wanted to talk to some of these activists and find out what the hell inspired you? How'd you get into this?
Yeah.
You know, like I'd love to hear your guys' story. I mean, the preconceived notions I have of Steve and Lucky as the deadheaders. I mean, and I love that. So I would love to hear your story.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I have cute picture of Skyla when she was like 6 at her first protest.
I drag all my grandkids and take pictures, and now I look at the libtards doing that to their kids, you know, and I'm like, maybe that's not as cool as I thought it was.
I don't think even no matter what side of the fence you're standing on, if you're standing up for something, that's good shit. Teach
No,
your children to
I
do that.
agree to get involved. Yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely. Even if people that you might not agree with, you know, kind of bring it back to Vogue or whatever. It's like, no,
Charlie
it's just a
Brown.
good thing to do.
They got
Aren't we in
Charlie
such a
Brown.
strange place? Hey, Charlie.
And we got Jack Sith in the house. And we have Cirrus,
Hey, Sarah.
Popeye. Oh my gosh. Charlie Brown's been playing. Have you played the games? Propaganda plays them. Goose Duck and Tetris. They're like
Goose Duck.
they're like absolutely obsessed with these games. And it is so
I would
funny.
get addicted. I have such an addictive personality. You know, I do the show To Hell and Back. It's about being a very addictive person. And these games, to me, I've learned if I want to give up, lose whole fucking weeks, yeah, start playing a game. Because I mean, I used to stay up for 24 hours playing Uno online, you know,
Right.
I still have
Certain
Uno
things
cards.
are like that. Yeah.
Like we legit have like the Uno game. Like I could pull it out and like
nice. I love
yeah.
Uno.
Yeah, we still have Uno. I have Skippo. Did you ever play Skippo?
Skippo, yep, Skippo.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was like
yeah.
something I played with my grandmother, you know? Like,
yeah. No, I'm a game person, but I know that I have a very addictive personality. So I stay away from online gaming just because of it.
Oh my gosh, we live by like two of the world's like biggest casinos, like single casinos.
Oh yeah.
Like these casinos are like literally everything in one. We have like Foxwoods, which is like MGM Grand too. So like when we say casino, we're not like talking about
like,
just going in for a gambling floor. We're talking we have hotels that are skyscraper hotels with pools and spas and restaurants and like shops. Like you can go Coach bag shopping.
Who can afford any of that shit anymore? Seriously.
I
can afford to drive there. I mean, I can't. I mean, I thought, okay, I had myself set up to live pretty contained before all this happened. You know, I can live within my means. My bills are being met, but I'm noticing as we get further and further into this pandemic, it's getting harder and harder and harder. You know, my last power bill just about fucking broke me. I always sit in such awe when I see these people that just have money to spend. Like,
yeah, like someone that doesn't have to check their bank account to see if do I have enough to like how much can I buy for groceries right now? How much gas can I afford to put in there right now? What can I balance out to pay this like later on?
Yeah, I'll pay. I rob Peter.
Do they
to
know
pay
the
Paul?
fucking struggle of like, you know, like saying, oh shit, I better check my bank account?
No, you need to just buy a Tesla and then you won't have to worry about gas. You know, when I go to the grocery store now, I put the luxury items, which are just wants, not needs, to the end of the conveyor belt. That way, if my total is too much when I get to those, it's like, okay, well, I'm not getting those this week, you know. And I think so many of us are pinching, you know, left and right where we can.
Yes.
And then it breaks today that all these fucking politicians invested, they moved stocks knowing that this Ukraine war would fucking break out. So, you know, they just sit in there enriching themselves, getting paid by the aristocrats to be their talking heads. And we've got a boot on our necks so fucking hard in America. And most of us are still asleep thinking that America's great and we're the world's superheroes.
It's insane. It's insane. Like it's everything that you think you thought you knew is completely destroyed. Everything. And it's devastating. And I'm worried about what the effects are going to be on, you know, the generations to come.
And that's why I got into the fight when my grandkids were born. I looked around and went, oh my God, we've poisoned the air, food, and fucking water. And what have we done to our kids? And they don't care. I swear to God, they just want us all dead and they'll take care of their own kids, you know.
I don't even know how, like, I don't even think like, do they just not see a future at all, even like for their future generations? Like they just don't, they have some alternative plan that we are unaware of.
I know. I hear
they're going to be fine.
Right.
You know, like,
well, yeah, because it's transhumanism. And ultimately, the environment won't matter to us when we're fucking some kind of subconscious inside of an AI machine that doesn't need air or food to survive. And that's ultimately the goal, because these guys have so much fucking money that they can't spend it in 10 lifetimes. So the goal is to live long enough to enjoy your money, right? Not just pass it down to your ungrateful kids. And if you follow some of these fuckers like Bill Gates and even his parents, the eugenics that they've been into since the turn of the 1900s, you know, this has been a plan for a long time, and it's much higher and it's much more orchestrated than people even can wrap their mind around. And, you know, they shoved us into cities. That's one thing that was modeled after Rome. I'm really into history. I love history. I'm always watching history if I'm not watching politics. And, you know, Rome was an empire of cities. America is an empire of cities. And if they shove us all into these cities, then they can control us, tell us that, there's not enough food, there's not enough water, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
You
that's
have to
why
stay
I think
here.
that they are allowing the infrastructure to completely crumble.
Yes.
It's easier.
Yes.
It's so much easier to control the people if they don't have a bridge they can go across.
Damn
you know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's all by design, and like most people are missing like the bigger picture of all of it. And like for me, it's like the only solution that I have in this, it's not voting. We're not going to fucking vote our way out of this fucking bullshit. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Our history shows us that that is not the path. I think the path forward is going back to basics, intentional communities. There are intentional communities all over the place that are working as a parallel society to the main society.
But
And
they're shutting those
the
down.
only way that we're going to be able to do it is if
You're right.
but we have to say no.
Yeah.
The people have to be people are not uncomfortable enough in the United States.
No, and I've known
poor
that.
are not uncomfortable enough to the point where like everybody's out. Like once everybody doesn't have a home, I think then maybe we have homeless. Like I've worked with a homeless community and in our area for years. I was homeless here myself. I lived
Me
at
too,
a
me
homeless
too.
shelter,
Yeah.
and then I went back there and I worked there after I volunteered there, and then I went back and worked there, and I've done so much work with the homeless community, and it's like. There's never an ounce of prevention though for any of this
Or
They don't
accountability
prevent it.
for
No,
what
yeah,
that money is going to, where it's going. It just goes in pockets. I chased $10 million through my county that was allocated to the homeless over 10 years, and none of it could be fucking accounted for. I mean, it went into pockets of overseers, and that's the way it always is. I think that it's going to get much worse for the homeless problem in America because now we see these big corporations buying up all of the housing. And of course, they're urbanizing all the downtowns. But they want our downtowns to be like they are right now. I mean, I don't know if the West Coast, Portland, Sacramento, Seattle, these are places that you used to be able to go walk downtown, their downtown areas, but now they're so riddled with crime and homelessness and just alcohol
it's
and
like that
drugs.
everywhere.
It's like that everywhere, especially the blue
on the
cities.
East Coast,
Yeah,
just as much, except it's easier and it's less harsh to be on that side of the country and be homeless than it is to be on the East Coast because
we have sub-zero temperature.
The winter and just the way that they deal with the homeless. You know what I mean? You're a fucking criminal. You don't have a house. You're a fucking criminal. Yeah. Just
but
shut up and get in jail.
Won't keep
just
you in jail.
Get addicted to fentanyl and fucking go to jail.
They'll only keep you in jail long enough to push you through the system, kick you back out with a bunch of fines, and keep you locked into the system. They're not actually like locking them up in jail for any amount of time. And I mean, we have offenders here on our big city streets that they have like 650 charges in a fucking year for shoplifting and blah, blah, blah. Sure. It's like, why has this person not been helped? He's gone through your guys' system, court system, how many goddamn times, and you just kick him back out. And we have a new mayor in Seattle that's so fucking, they're always crooked. It doesn't matter. I mean, the last one was a dim blue dog that, was a kiss ass that chased or always was going after Shama Swan.
It's one state. It's one state. There's just one fucking state, and it's just all corrupt. Like that's just like that. I have no faith in that system. Like I just don't. I don't have faith in that system.
Everybody go through that for-profit fucking jail thing, man. It's like the state's making money.
Oh
so
my
the state will. You can go live on the street and you can go fucking steal shit to get your drugs every day.
Yeah,
and then you'll go to jail. And if you're lucky, maybe if somebody's pulling for you, you might get a bed somewhere in a rehab place. But you're just going through the turnstiles. You know what I mean? There's like several hoops that you can jump through.
Everybody's got their hands out too.
And that's it. And everybody's making $1 off of you. So the whole thing is systematically doomed to failure in bureaucracy and fucking, just fucking price gouging.
Well, look at how we've treated addiction in this country for 100 fucking years. It's never been about addressing the actual problem, right? Alcoholism, drug addiction is a secondary problem, and we've lost the connection to each other in this world. And so instead, that's how we comfort ourselves. We turn to drugs and alcohol. So instead of addressing that, we turn to MAT drugs, medically assisted treatment drugs, that just keep big pharma enriched. This fentanyl, it's so fucking insane the amount of people that are going to die in the next year because of the way fentanyl's taken over our streets.
Well, it's just
that,
so
the
cheap
suicides,
so cheap to manufacture too.
everything.
Like the cost of making the drugs,
and they can put it in everything. It's even
like
in cocaine
pennies
now.
It's fucking pennies now. So everything has fentanyl in it because it's the cheapest fucking shit going, and you can make it in pretty much any clandestine fucking lab. So ultimately, they've learned the recipe from the Chinese labs that they bought it from like 5 years ago when the whole thing really started to fucking catch fire, when people were, importing kilos and shit. Like other people who were selling drugs were buying this shit from China instead of off of their fucking connects in South America.
And they like it better. Can I tell you, I have a shit ton of heroin addicts in my family who go, oh no, fuck that. Fentanyl is awesome. I will take fentanyl over heroin anytime because it's so much stronger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, I'm like an old school fucking junk connoisseur, I guess, because I like the old Afghani buzz that would actually make you scratch your face off, and just fold you over at the waist. That buzz. But this stuff, the fentanyl is like you got hit by a bus and then you woke up. And then your buzz is over.
I've lost so many to fentanyl in the last 2 years. It's fucking heart-wrenching.
Yeah, no, I've lost so many friends. I mean, I know I share the same sort of social circle and stuff. And, and over the years, you know what I mean? It's just ticking off a list, man, of people who are still here. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as I get older.
I lost.
I'm lucky to be here. Are you fucking kidding me? A fucking fentanyl should have fucking killed me. I don't know how many times I woke up to, oh fuck, what? What the fuck was that? I'm like, I don't know, man. I thought I was a professional.
You're here for a higher purpose, Steve.
And then they got that shit. Yeah. Well, I'm really happy now to say that, Kratom has basically fucking saved my whole fucking shit.
Me too.
And let me experience like life without being, fucking a zombie and trying to self-medicate all the time. Like it's been a fucking struggle to deal with like the actual emotions and things that I was trying to suppress.
Yeah.
That's been fucking
the answer
traumatic,
is the answer to get through addiction is love, I think.
Yes.
That's the
connection.
But not enabling the behavior, like I've been on the side of helping a lot of people come through and actually be able to come out of that and stay out of that. Because, you have to, if you don't deal with the reasons why you were using, you know what I mean? Then you know what I mean? Then it is always going to be that, until you deal with that, like it's never, I'm sorry, the teenager is distracting me.
I'm glad I don't have those anymore, but they're just as bad in their 20s, I promise.
Well, she's 18, so but she's like my best friend. I'm very, very lucky mom. I'm very, very lucky. I really am. But yeah, like I think that, like love is the answer to help get people through that. And like it, but that doesn't mean that you have to have like where you're going to enable them, right? Because like with Skyla's dad, when we worked together at IHOP long time ago, when he was using, I looked at him and I said, I am here for you when you are good, but when you're not good, I'm not. Here's my number. And this was like back, like, oh my gosh, like during like 9/11 time and shit, like all of that. So like, cell phones wasn't like, it was not always like a consistent thing that somebody had a cell phone, but I maintained that cell phone number and like, it was like a year later that like he had called me back, and was like, I still have your number. I kept it. And, you know, like I would see him, but I wouldn't acknowledge him.
Dude,
You know, I couldn't be there
used to
for
drive
him.
past my ex on the road. I mean, I married an alcoholic heroin addict when I was 16 years old, and then I married a crackhead in my 30s. So yeah, I know that addiction partner thing. It's
Yeah. I mean,
sucks.
he, you know, but he went from that, and he, you know, when he was clean, you know, and then we ended up having Skyla and everything like that. But at that time, he was sleeping in a cardboard box behind a grocery store, you know, and that was in the middle of these cold New England, you know, winters. So
I like this comment here from AK Ellen Latham. She says, we've unspent millions in LA. Tomorrow night, I'm bringing a report about how California wants to give everybody $400 because the gas taxes are so high. And I thought, where the fuck
it's
is
a fucking
California getting all
Band-Aid.
this
It's always a
money? Yeah,
fucking
where I
Band-Aid.
know, right? Yeah, you're gonna spend 10,000 extra in gas, but here's 400. Where is California getting all this extra money? You know, they've taken in a shit ton of money, and they've proposed some crazy handouts over the last year, especially Newsom. It was kind of shocking. Like
Oz said something too. He said, oh yeah, right here. India bought oil from Russia today.
yeah, no, what's going on in the world is America's collapsing. We are Rome. This is the fall of the empire.
I know.
It's already done,
Get your
guys.
seeds, kids. Get your seeds. Know your skills. You better have books on how to fucking do this shit because you need it. Like we have books on how to build homes.
Me too. I've been a prepper for many years.
Yeah, like we're right there. We are.
I'm pretty contained. Like, I could make it a couple of months, you know, by myself, food storage wise. I live next to a river. I do have water access, but you know, but you never know what's going to happen. So
it's
you know,
so weird living in that.
Are you going to be?
Right?
I know.
Like, not knowing
run
if it's gonna be like a
so I gotta pack up and leave instantly.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be? And so you can just kind of live with that. I have a medical bag that's always ready to go, that has pretty much enough med supply to stitch somebody up, cast somebody if I needed to. You know, I've got a huge styrofoam cooler that you use for shipping food. Just stuff with rice and beans and you know, anything extra that I get from the food banks, because hey, I'm broke. I can't afford to go buy a fucking food storage or a food pantry from those people, you know, those that sell them online. Every time I get extra rice, beans, you know, anything like that from the food bank, I just bag it up and put it away. And you know, I've been growing. I live in a trailer park, as some of you might know. You can check out my YouTube channel, The Accidental Activist, and I have trailer park gardening, where I do my best to fight the rats off and actually grow a little garden of maybe tomatoes, lettuce, some, you know, zucchinis, just easy shit to do. And my biggest bitch is the rats. The rats in the trailer park steal my freaking prizes every time. But it's stuff like that. I think that we need to, you know, not be ashamed. I used to be ashamed of, I live in a trailer park and I don't want to talk about, you know, and now I'm like, no, this is what you have to do.
It's like a trend. Everyone wants a tiny home. You're just ahead of the game.
You're just ahead of the curve, girl.
I grew up in a trailer. I am the epitome of white trash. I as many memories back as I can remember, I've lived in a mobile home, and I hated it. When I became an adult, I was like, fuck that. I'm never living in a mobile home again. I went and got a big Victorian house. The cost of maintaining that big house for 10 years. When my mom asked me, hey, you want to move into my mobile? I was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah. My favorite house I ever had was a single wide in Florida. And my mom had a double wide in front of us. Nice. So it was like my mom's double wide and then like this walkway that had a fucking awning all the way over it.
Nice.
Right to my fucking trailer. It was beautiful. I was like, this is the best thing ever. It cost me like $300 a month or something.
It's the cheapest way to live right now, honestly. And even then, it's not cheap. I mean, lot payment, taxes. I'm still putting out, but I'm not putting as much as people that have apartments or, you know, condos.
I wish I still had that gig because that was like the best property. She since moved from there, but that was like choice because like $300, I didn't have lot fees, I didn't have water, I didn't have garbage, I didn't have nothing else, just fucking whatever cable I had, and that was it. And
don't be watching cable, man. That shit rots your brain.
Oh my god, dude. Oh yeah, and that was back in the day where you pay like $60 to have like, you know, 17 channels or something.
Steve, I was watching. There's this YouTuber that does all these flashbacks to the 80s and 90s, and they covered all of the MTV giveaways in the 80s. Do you guys remember those crazy ass fucking giveaways where they gave a house away in John Cougar Mellencamp's town, or they gave a whole town away once?
Right. And then they invite the town to your backyard in that town and rage.
The stories of these winners is fucking hilarious. Like, I mean, ruined their lives when they win these things.
It's like, where are they now 10 years later?
Yeah.
Oh man,
the curse of the lottery.
I still got 18 months on my probation since MTV came to town.
I just want to like a plot of land where I can, build an earthship home, or a natural home. We want an intentional
beehive.
community.
Do a beehive printer. That's what I've been looking at. Those beehive.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Those are really cool.
Yeah, we look into doing the intentional communities. I think that is the mutual aid that will save us. Is those communities.
And you're right, they are gonna try to just fucking squash you like a
we have
bug.
quite a few barter communities up here in Idaho, Eastern Washington and Idaho. There's a lot of communities that tried to come together and build barter communities, and the FBI doesn't fucking like that. Ruby Ridge. No, you're not allowed to share resources, and if they think that you're becoming a threat, they'll just come burn you to the fucking ground like Waco. Boy, we bought that shit hook, line, and sinker in the 90s. Oh, look at those crazy. And I'm not saying Kardashian or that guy Caruso wasn't crazy. But come on, the FBI, they fucking kicked that door in and fucking burned that place to the ground.
They kill babies. They don't give a fuck.
No,
they don't care.
These are imperialist forces. People need to just like assume that they all have black Darth Vader masks on because they are fucking evil. Straight up.
Ooh, yeah. They totally are. They absolutely are. And it's shocking to look back at history and the narrative that we bought then versus what we know now. I mean, you can do it with damn near everything. Kennedy, right? The Vietnam War, Bay of Pigs. I mean, the Gulf of Tonkin. Everything's been a lie. Our whole fucking lie.
Now they're doing it right in front of you, though. Like,
they're like fuck you right to your face. Like,
we
live in 1984.
Pfizer's like, I'll tell you in 75 years. Okay,
75. I mean, come on.
We're fucking you. We are fucking you without lubrication, and we're not talking about it for 75 years.
Well, did you hear they rolled back 25% of children's death under COVID?
Yes,
but remember, they needed the booster, and they needed it. Regulated. They needed it out there for kids because kids were dying. But no, we're just gonna take these kids off there.
Yeah, not so much.
So we were able to not like Skyla had school, right? Like, so she's in her senior year of high school, and it's a hybrid like college. So she was kind of like in this in between, right? Because she's out of high school, but it's at the college. So she's taking college classes. So she kind of like was able to slip between the cracks with like the whole like them mandating the vaccines and wanting shit like that. And we just kind of like just
stay quiet. Just be the mouse. Be quiet.
Like,
be quiet.
You know what I mean? Like just like pushed. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like as long as we could. Like, and we got through that. Thankfully.
Smiling on.
Like
thankfully, my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter
has a
was
retail
forced.
job, so same thing. I'm like, oh, we're so lucky.
Yeah, I'm scared for my grandkids, but my oldest daughter is like, hell no, shove that shit straight up your ass. My youngest daughter, who is a recovering opiate addict, heroin addict, she had no choice because of the rehab facilities that she was in and trying to, be with her kids and whatnot. They forced her to do it. And it breaks my heart that they forced my daughter to do something. I don't know if 20 years from now she's going to have cancer. Food Not Bombs is a terrorist org, really?
That's what they
according
classify.
To the FBI.
The FBI.
Oh yeah, no, I've worked with Food Not Bombs for many years. I'm like, I don't know
I've
that,
played,
but you got
I've
it
played
wrong.
benefit shows.
Commander, Steve has played benefit shows for them.
Good, they're
Commander
awesome.
X, we actually, I wrote to him, and he wants to meet us.
Good.
And he wants to meet Leo because his dog. Well, one of them, he's got two, but this is Zabby, and she looks just like Leo, and he's super excited about that. So he was like, "I gotta meet you guys when I'm out." There's actually awesome. They're looking for like letters if you guys
I'll write Commander X. I just wrote Assange. So yeah, no, I always, do what I can to bring some. I know when you're sitting in a fucking jail cell
Mm-hmm.
and you get a fucking letter, you don't care if you know that person, nothing. Like, oh
You
my
don't even
God,
care
that
if it's
human
to you.
connection is there. Somebody's reaching out to me.
You don't even care if it's to you. It could be the wrong fucking person. You're like, oh, mail, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Finally.
Commander X, the reason we brought him up is because he is an old hacktivist and a food not bombs.
Yeah. Yeah, he was working with Food Not Bombs
Yeah.
to help with
and he helped get
Wi-Fi.
internet.
I've
Getting
ran
Wi-Fi
into
for
food
people.
not bombs everywhere around this country. Can I tell you? I have been down to protest the School of the Americas. Food not bombs is there
Nice.
making vegan food for everybody. I can be up here in the north by Canadian border protesting, pipeline, and there they are. It doesn't matter. They always seem to show up and feed everybody.
They are on the fucking ground. They are like the magic fucking rainbow kitchen.
They are. They really
man.
are. And they make great fucking food too.
Oh,
Can I tell
hell
you?
yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're vegan too, you'll especially enjoy it.
Oh yeah, the soup kitchen I used to volunteer at. They made amazing food. Like it wasn't like what you would think of like as the propaganda of like what TV shows.
Yeah,
you.
slop.
No, they were
right?
getting like stuffed peppers and you know what I mean. Like they were getting food. It was really awesome.
I gotta
Awesome
show you
stuff
my
there.
coffin. So Lucky sent me this.
Oh yeah, here make it bigger so you can there you can show it
There. Okay, so she
Oh,
made
that's so
this
cool.
amazing. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. But I got it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep my joints in it. But then I needed a place to keep my dying eyelashes. So that's
that's so funny. Oh my god, I love it.
my dying eyelash coffin.
That is
So thank you.
awesome.
Are you gonna make it
That's
art?
where
Are you
eyelashes
gonna
go
do
to
art
die. I
with
didn't
the
know that.
eyelashes?
Yeah, once it's full, I'll send you a picture when it's all the way full.
That's
We'll have to like
awesome.
make something with eyelashes.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that does. There's people that make art out of everything, right? I'm an artist. I paint, and I dabble. I'm not very good, but I am very creative. So
Creativity is the thing, man.
I make a lot of jewelry. My mom was a jewelry maker till she passed last year. And so I ended up with all of her jewelry making supplies, and we're talking cases of Swarovski crystals and just
oh yeah. I
beads
have some
and
of
beads
those.
and endings and findings. And I'm gonna have a big garage sale in June and just sell it all because my eyes are too bad. I can't bead. I'd have to have 3 magnifying glasses.
You should take in and separate like the grooviest shit that you think Lucky would like. And
Yeah, no, and that's why. Yeah, that's why I was
we meet
telling you
you.
because I know that you make jewelry. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've got a mass amount of finds I should send you.
Oh my gosh.
That's
He
fucking
says
cool.
this. Yeah.
I'm just I'm thinking, we're gonna go out there and then we could just run into her and you'd have a new tackle box full of stuff.
A tackle box. I have tackle boxes. I have like 30
Yes,
tackle boxes.
She does too. Oh
I
my
have
God,
like
dude.
all the art supplies.
Yeah,
Like
me too,
it's
me too.
really bad.
My
Like
whole
I'm like,
house is piled up with them.
yes, like we need to get rid of stuff. I'm like, we want to move.
We gotta
and
downsize a little bit.
I'm
ladies.
like,
Gotta
there
travel
is
light.
so much.
Well, it's hard when you got kids your age too. Can I tell you? I went through that. When they get up there to where they're starting to leave home, they kind of want you to pack their shit around for them, and that their sentimental stuff. And I got to a point with all 3 of my kids when they were in their early 20s where I was literally dragging a 3-bedroom house of memories around with me, every doodle they made in the 2nd grade, and finally I was just like, you guys have to come go through all this. I can't keep packing it around. And you'll hit it. You'll hit it soon enough.
Well, yeah. Like I mean, me, it's mostly just like supplies. So we're just gonna start bundling it up and putting it up for sale. Or I have friends that do art. Like I have a friend that has a place called the Art House, and she does like the paint along things, and she does like the vacation after school programs like with the kids and stuff.
Cool. Yeah,
So
no, I know.
I can like give her a bunch of cool stuff that's like like
good idea.
random, like here's a bunch of fun stuff, like do fun stuff with the kids.
I've met quite a few people that do that, since I got involved. We're in such a weird place. All the people that I was like shoulder to shoulder with, fighting, arm in arm with over the last 6 years, like half of them are thinking that they need to take a job and that blowing, giving money to Ukraine's a good idea. And I'm kind of sitting
Right.
here like, what the hell happened to my network? Like it's half
Yeah.
gone. But I see it replacing itself with people who understand, like you and Steve and so many of our amazing viewers in the chat. You guys are amazing. You guys move from show to show with all of our family, the combo couch, Sabby, Franco. It don't matter. I'll come into a chat and y'all be there,
Hell
and
yeah.
this is a community on its own. I feel like that's just coming out organically.
Yeah, I
It
think
is,
that's
yeah.
the thing is like, certain spaces, like having the space where we can get to know the personalities that we watch and hang out with and stuff. That's just been like the fucking coolest shit. And being able to, each one of the chat people, like you're saying, are amazing people and getting to know them all better and just all of that just naturally and organically is freaking beautiful.
It's our mutual aid space.
I don't want to take up too much time here, but Charlie Brown says he's thinking of opening a fart cake franchise. I don't know. It could be an opportune moment now that Putin scared the Rona away.
Yes, Putin cured COVID. That's what I
Sounds like a
say.
solid financial deal.
Okay, it kind of sounds like Kim Jong-un, right? He doesn't poop, right? He doesn't poop. Putin's curing COVID. Yeah.
He might be a source.
Gamer.
I don't know. Get on the phone with North Korea.
I don't know, but I know that we're in deep shit because
Love you, L.
all the partners that normally back the U.S. are pivoting and they're getting the fuck away from us. They see us as weak as we are with Biden, especially at the helm. And his dumb asses. Which Biden ain't controlling shit, but
look what Little said there.
I think they're all looking at.
Chanda sounds like an Amazon warrior princess name. Like this grabs boomer makes no. Yeah,
makes no now. Little is fucking funny as shit. What the hell was I just gonna say? It was something about
Wilson, Mr. Wilson. Oh my god.
No.
Klaus Schwab cured COVID. Yeah, maybe he did.
Klaus Schwab.
He released it probably.
The WEF patented it, and then they own the testing and the virus itself. So how could they lose? You know what I mean? It was a win-win situation.
Yeah. Just like our elections. I was watching some right-wing thing the other day. It was a breakdown of the My Pillow dude, right? And he's so cringe and terrible. But did you know that Dominion voting machines went after him and tried to sue the shit out of him because he said their machines were freaking rigged?
Yes.
Oh my
goodness.
And
they went after him and they went after
gotta be careful what you say.
Was it Sydney? Was her name Sydney? The lady. Oh my god.
The My Pillow lady?
No.
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
I don't know if there's a My Pillow lady or guy.
Let's get to the bottom of that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
L, that's some investigative journalism.
Yeah,
I know. L always knows.
She is on the
We'll investigate
research.
it.
Boom.
So.
She'll know.
Is there a My Pillow lady?
Oh
News
my
at 11.
gosh.
Yeah, the dollar may be fucked, Mass Adam. I agree. I think that right now we're seeing the American dollar. We didn't hyperinflate because we are the petrodollar, but give us 2 years and give countries like India and Saudi Arabia a chance to pay for oil without the petrodollar, say the Chinese won, and we're going to see hyperinflation in this country in the next 2 years, which we think we got it bad now. You wait.
It's starting soon. We'll be pushing wheelbarrows of $50 bills to go and get bread.
Yeah.
I
learned how to make bread this year, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I know. I mastered the art of dough making. The amazing thing about YouTube, for all of its downfalls, you can learn a lot of shit on YouTube.
Oh, fully. I've been watching this dude. I don't know if you're hip to him, but he's the Vice Grips Garage guy on YouTube. And what he does is he just takes like the minimal amount of tools, like basically like a ratty old fucking Harbor Freight set of tools. And he goes and buys a car sight unseen that hasn't run in like fucking 20 years. And then he gets it running and he drives it home to fucking East Chuck fucking Michigan or wherever. And he's like 600. Well, I got 600 miles to go. You know, I think it's gonna be all right. And like no plate, no nothing, just fucking gets it running and drives it home.
Come on,
And
how many of us
that's
have
his
done
channel.
that? My tabs were
so
just
many
expired
times.
for a month.
Oh my gosh, do you see
I
this?
was driving around that way.
Yeah, so many times in my life I've driven around with no nothing and just be like, whatever, cowboy driving.
But,
you know,
and we have that mentality because I think because we're white people. Can you imagine if we did that? If we were
it's a
colored?
sense of you know, an undue sense of privilege. Really,
It really is, and I recognize that. Like I can drive around as a white woman and not have to worry about you know, a cop messing with me.
But it's also has to do with like being used to like, you know, kind of a rural.
Yeah, I live in a small town
area.
rural. I know my
Yeah,
cops. you
right,
know?
exactly. Like I only got
that's
3 cops to watch out for. I think I can make it to Putnam, you know.
and in America, we have so many rural areas, and when you get involved in politics, if you're outspoken against the narrative or whatever is going on in your area, it can be very scary, man. I have been stalked. I have been harassed. I mean, I've had my cars messed with. Like, it's
I bet just
scary.
being vocal about things.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm sure we have some fucking right-wing motherfuckers around here who are not very happy about me and Lucky doing what we're doing just because of that. Just because it conflicts, and it conflicts with not just the right wing. I mean, either side of this fucking turkey, it doesn't matter. Everybody is so up their own ass anymore with, you know,
Steve,
watching the news.
There's some alert thing that came on the screen. You have to, I don't know what
Alerts.
this is.
Alert. Kanye versus My Pillow Guy 2024. Yeah, I agree, Little. That'll be fun. I see the IS Stever.
I wasn't trying to. Stop. What are you doing? Don't start clicking things.
If you're trying to and then it wants to, then you say yes.
What is Snorky saying? Snorky's being funny. I don't see it. You can make a pickle bread without a dildo. Oh, that is funny.
You look at this. Do you see this? This is the furthest back Beauty and the Boomer that I could find.
Wow.
Like, I have to show you. Like,
I know. Did you guys laugh? We used to dress in costumes back then.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Look at us.
That's what we're
and he did drug too.
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That was a year ago.
That was I Dream of Jeannie. I want to say that was probably Halloween time around 2020.
I love it, like Halloween, like getting your beer muscles and stuff. Like, I'm not shy.
Like, look at how different, like, you know, how different, like, your production is and everything. Like, it's completely.
Look at the reface. Look at how shitty that reface is. That was probably our original first ever attempt at a fucking reface.
Yes, this is the first one. Look at Oz with the
fantastic.
I was like, oh my gosh.
That's why we did it. We want people to go, what the fuck are these people doing?
That was my first impression of you guys.
Absolutely got us. We're like, oh, we got to watch these people.
I'm like, what is happening? What is that guy doing? Like, I remember, like, Steve, what is going on here? He's like, this is a new show. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, let's see. And then I looked at it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I just loved how it was just like... It was like a cross between a weird, like, I don't know, Disney movie on acid with like video game kind of stuff going on as well.
Yeah.
It was, and politics and stuff. It was like, wow, this is like the best of everything. I love it.
Well, did you guys see anything that we used to do back then that you miss or that we should be still doing?
I think we need to study these tapes further.
I haven't really like looked here. Let me like unvolume it. Like, let me put let's see what you guys are
later.
talking
I
about.
don't know.
He does have his pearls.
Yeah, I have my pearls. You see my pearls? This is
eyes exploding. That is pearls.
These are my pearls.
I love it.
I love it.
Yes.
So what's going on? Shall we say hi to everybody in the chat?
Yeah, let's say hi. Our chat's been busy for a while. Hi,
been-
guys.
Hi,
I'm
guys.
stoned. I'm ripped out of my mind.
It's
Let's
Saturday
see who's
night.
in there.
Saturday night.
Of course.
We got Brett McKinney and Maris. and
Oh, I miss Brett
Barbara.
McKinney.
Hi, Barbara. Who else we got in there?
Brett
I know we
McKinney.
got a
There's
lot.
like a lot of
Oh,
original
Joey,
peoples.
Barbara still
I
shows
smoked
up.
really hard
Sure.
before we came on.
Barbara's a sweetheart. She comes in the live streams.
You're
too.
talking
Yeah,
about
no, I was
being
Now you want me to
stoned.
read?
Yeah, I got my double and a
I
half
can tell
here,
I've
my
read.
sapphire and
Just by the way
tonic.
I'm smiling.
J9 Campbell. Barbara was first in tonight. Barbara, you get the gold star. And Brent
I see a
McKinney.
bunch of new people.
Oh my
Welcome to the
God,
stream. This
yeah.
is Beauty and the Boomer.
It's-
I'm Beauty. He's the Boomer.
Okay, Boomer. No, you're supposed to say that.
Boomer.
Oh my gosh. We got Chris Foster. And we got the UK in
Chris.
here. Brent McKinney. Oh, let's see. Who else do we have?
What a
Go ahead, feel free
throwback.
to smoke
This
while
is
I'm
a
trying to read
Total
these.
throwback. We probably had like 10 people watching. That's why I keep saying the name.
Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta
I don't
find it.
smoke on stream, even though you try to catch me smoking on stream.
I do my best.
quit
I do my
smoking, I
best.
might
and
You do
say.
do your best.
once in a while I catch it.
You look
Once in a while,
healthier.
so-
Once in a
Thank
while,
you.
I'm getting.
Everybody's
I know the studio now, so I know what you're hitting to bring us up. So I'm watching to see if you're hovering close to it.
Yeah, well, I do. I'm looking now. When I look up this direction, I'm looking at you, so I can watch you. I'm spying on you with my glass.
All right, so
I,
I
you
have
know,
a question. Can
that's.
you, can you pause
I
it for a
want to
second?
move my monitor because I'm always looking down. When I'm looking down over here, I'm looking.
I have a question about the
Look at Oz's face. I just gotta say, Oz should come on.
the programs being used now. Like it's like you're using like a Zoom or something to get your image to the studio and then processing it from there through like OBS to stream it.
We have Oz has got a really expensive studio program. I can't remember the exact name of it.
I remember he showed me what it looks
And
like.
so, yeah, we initially will use Zoom or the Mayo to bring people in. I guess, you know, it kind of works different. Things just changed for us recently because we changed some things up. But for the last 2 years, yeah. And it allows us to do a lot of different things that we can't just do with OBS stream because we can have multiple cameras in there. We're controlling the audio for everything. We can control the transitions, and it's just made it a lot of fun to do it a little bit different than the OBS. I mean, I've done it that way too, but with Oz
Yeah,
and
I
the
was just
ones and
curious.
twos.
Because I the way that I would like to do this and my stream like in the future is use the StreamYard simply for like, you know, posting the comments or whatever and having people come so you can invite them from anywhere and they can just join your thing.
Right.
But use the OBS or even another one. I've seen a couple different ones that look really good where you're just using that StreamYard as like the lobby, basically the catch-all for your guests.
Right. And that's what we do. We use,
Yeah.
you know, we call it the green room. It's our green
Right.
room. And so Oz sets cameras up for everybody that's in the green room, and then he can pull us in one at a time, all of us. So
Yeah.
you're not just stuck with that view that you get on Zoom, which is
Sure.
everybody and then the speaker. You know, we can toggle through content if we want to show video or whatnot. And
Yeah.
it's been a challenge, you
That's
know,
cool though.
learning the software and integrating it with integration has been a freaking problem with so many different hardware devices and you know different things that we're trying to do, get our sounds right. I mean, you go back and you look at some of those videos. I started out with a gamer headset with a terrible mic, no background, on a laptop. And, you know, by the grace of Oz, he has built me into a beautiful workstation. I have 3 monitors, 2 separate systems. So I can be on the Rockfin chat and I can be on this, you know, the YouTube chat. And it's amazing that, you know, where we came from to where we are now. You'll grow too, Steve. I know you will. And
we're trying. I mean,
you
basically
guys are doing a great job from where
we do
you
everything on a laptop. We have a MacBook.
Just one laptop. That's
well,
it.
a MacBook's strong enough to do that though, right?
I mean, it's barely strong. Like if I want to do it so that, like, say I'm on the Discord or something on the tablet and stream that onto the laptop, that's just a little bit too much for it to handle without skipping and glitching a little bit. So it's like a little bit more processing power, even just another desktop unit where we could plug in a couple more cameras.
Well, you should see Oz's studio. Oz has 2 studios. He has the outside actual official studio to where like we could film people standing up and talking and stuff. And then he has the studio that you see him in every day. And the amount of juice and power that he's pushing out of that damn place, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean,
and then the cost of all that
showed
shit
me around.
nowadays.
You showed me around a couple of times, just like I'm just like fucking wow, that's a lot to take in, bro. You got a lot of
Look
stuff.
at the difference in your face, Chanda.
I know, it was so gray. Everybody says my color has gotten so much better, but you know, my lighting has gotten better too. I gotta say, I had.
But you
shit for
also
lighting
you
back
quit
then.
smoking and you've made healthier choices. Like
Yeah,
you know,
no.
like
Yeah,
over
it
this
does.
last
It shows
year,
up on our faces like
it-
pretty
like,
pretty quick.
your face looks. It just doesn't. It looks clearer. I don't know.
Thanks. Yeah, people have been telling me that possibly, you know, like, God, you used to look ashy and gray. And, you know, my mom literally dropped dead in August and like right in front of us, middle of the day. And I, you know, I don't know what it was. They said they did an autopsy, and my mom had been an opiate addict because her doctor had been prescribing her opiates for 30 fucking years. I mean, the late 80s, they started giving her Valium and, you know, and Percocets and whatnot. And I know that she had gotten into fentanyl, but I don't know if fentanyl killed my mom or if it was the hardening of her arteries. Because when they did the autopsy, they said hardening of the arteries. And I've smoked for 37 years. I am one of those people that said I will die with a fucking cigarette in my mouth. I enjoy cigarettes. I'm never going to give it up. I love to smoke. I love to smoke so much. I dreamed about smoking last night. But watching my mom drop dead that fast at 64 years old with no fucking warning, no nothing. I don't want to do that to my kids. I don't want to do that to my grandbabies. So I was just, it scared me. It's really like, okay, Mom, I got the message.
It took me a long time. Took me a long time to get here. And I, you know, I've only given up cigarettes like not that long ago, you know, about a year ago. And did it help your voice? Because I feel like my voice is worse. Really has, dude. Oh my God. Like for years, I'm like, I better not stop smoking. My voice will change and I won't like it, you know.
Yeah, you won't be as gravelly. Yeah.
And instead of being more Tom Waits like, it just kind of gets weird on you where you can't do things. And now I'm like, I do have falsetto. I can sing a higher note. And like before, it was just not there at all. Now there's notes that didn't used to be there.
I've gotten better.
I used to be better at Janis Joplin.
Try your scales because
I do Janis all the time.
I used to do her really good, and now I just like I don't have that like really raspiness that I used to
Well, it
have.
depends on what you're singing. If you're singing Bobby McGee, that's a little bit higher tone than you know.
A Piece of My Heart or
Piece
something.
of My Heart. Piece of My Heart is the one I normally do. And that's a full fucking body experience to sing that song. I mean, you got to pull from the bottom of your gut to get that song out. Yeah.
That's one of the funnest things to play in a band when you have a badass chick singing that shit.
Yeah, it is.
And you can sing the harmonies as a guy. Take it. Everybody's just fighting. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I know.
What was that girl? You had that girl that sat in with you guys a couple of times. Remember, like amazing voice, insane, like absolutely insane, but an amazing voice. Like
that girl. She was batty as hell.
And she knew it. Like it wasn't. It's not like we're saying something she doesn't know
or something. You know what I mean? This tiny little black girl.
It was
gigantic voice. All of this range and control over it was just like, God damn, she just does
it's the control that's so important. I was watching Patsy Cline's scales the other day on the auto tune. Have you ever watched any of those videos? Because a real singer will never be directly on the auto tune. They'll only be a little above it or a little bit on it. But Patsy Cline, oh my God, her isolated vocals were just like the control that she had on the emotion coming down her vocals was amazing. But I used to be a talent scout. I had a production company. I was married to a musician, and his brothers were in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with a grunge band called the Sonics in the 60s, and we had a lot of connections. And I actually had a lot of bands, and there's so much great fucking untapped talent in this world and in this country that people think, you're just born good. And then if somebody hears you, you get a record deal and then you become famous. And that's not the music industry at fucking all. You can have the best fucking voice in the world and you won't make it onto any of these stupid TV talent shows, which I think TV talent shows are killing the fucking music industry.
Fully. Everything.
They've destroyed it.
That everything Hollywood that's happened to music has just, inverted music. It's just fucked it up and made it backwards and make it, less attractive and less sonically pleasing. You know what I mean? Think about that music that came out in the 50s and 60s and 70s. It's just like stunning, stark
Yeah.
contrast, you know, of good vibrations and good feelings.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And there's
crazy.
room for all of it.
Oh, yeah,
There's room for
everything.
all of it
That's
too.
not the thing. It's just how they.
But I mean,
invert
like,
it.
but that's the thing, is that like with the Hollywood stuff like that, it's like they make it so selective, and then it's like there is room for all of this beauty, though. We don't have to.
Well,
just
and
have
most
a
of the
few.
shit you're hearing nowadays is industry plants. I
Yeah.
mean, everything's fucking auto-tuned. None of these rappers are singing, and you know, and these
It's
kids
just
eat it up.
automated. The same
it's
thing with
all
the
automated,
AI. It's just the automation of things. Although the one thing that I can say that is absolutely fucking stunning and amazing is the rise in production quality of content creators, whether that's music or video or anything like that.
Independent
Independently,
content.
yes,
Like
just-
Tom McDonald is fucking killing it. He's
just
the number
people
one
making
Billboard
their own-
artist, and nobody's
Yeah.
even heard of him. Right?
Yeah. That's what I mean. There's so much talent, like, and there's always been this much talent in the world, like at all
Yeah.
times, right? But now everybody is a producer. Every single person can be a producer.
Yeah,
So
we've
if
been
you can
handed the
produce a
power of
product,
production. Yeah.
you can fucking make it. You can do it. Like, you look at bands like that followed the path of like the Grateful Dead, like Fish and Widespread Panic.
I
And
love
String
Fish.
Cheese, String Cheese Incident, all of these different bands that are fucking STS9. There's just like this huge swath of fucking really talented players and excellent bands that did it themselves. They do everything themselves. They produce, they sell their product, they fucking do all their tour managing, everything. They do it all in-house. And that's how you fucking do it. And that's how you're successful.
But
if you do it right.
sadly, so many of those are getting fucked by these platforms like Spotify. There's no mechanism for them, the artist, to actually make some money, especially if they go into
Not in that way. Not in that way anymore. No. The only way to make that money is to do the whole production thing where you live stream everything that you play. Every show is an event that somebody can watch from home or watch at the venue, and then that money right there makes up a lot of difference, man. They're crushing it. Billy Strings is fucking crushing it with that right now, like really high attendance.
I gotta ask you guys, did you ever, like, you guys toured around and did the Grateful Dead following thing, right?
Yeah, I did that for years.
Okay, so I watched this documentary the other day that was talking about how the CIA had special plants in there that were distributing all of the acid that was being distributed in the Grateful Dead movement. What do you think about that?
There are things that I know about that I cannot speak of on a stream.
There's quite a few things, but I could say.
But with that said, that is true.
There are a lot of CIA and DARPA ties to that scene. They were hippies when they were hippies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the CIA
Laurel
was
Canyon hippies.
Those young kids. Yeah, Laurel Canyon, fucking Bay
we call
Area,
them
all these
Ashbury.
all these different little locations. Same
Beds
thing
with
as,
Dreads is a real thing.
Yeah,
Beds with Dreads is a absolutely
Chicago.
real thing, and you can thank the psychedelic movement to them. You can contribute it to them, from what I'm understanding in the research I see.
Well, there's a great book.
Yes,
LSD and the CIA is a really good book from the 80s that really details.
Well, and now there's a lot of connections to Manson and how they might have MK Ultra'd Manson, and that's how this really happened to us. Is it was a fucking social experiment.
Right. It was absolutely a social experiment. Can we fucking make it as dark and as fucking gory as we possibly can and twist somebody and spin them out as hard as we can? And then let's just give all these other hippies, who like the music, the good acid, and let them dance, and feed this guy the fucking the corrupted fucking molecule.
Is there good or bad acid? I mean, I've had bad acid, and I've had bad trips, and I've had good trips. I mean, is that a state of mind? Or is that chemical?
It's a frame of mind.
You got to figure out.
But hang on.
Hold on. Let me figure. If you say, is there good acid or bad acid? No, there's LSD 25, and then there's about 1,000 other derivatives around it, right? So if you get the good 25, chances are you'll have a great time. But if you get too much of it, you might get spun out and not come back, or be spun out for a week or whatever. So it's all relative.
It matters what the mindset that your brain is in. That also matters, because that's what's going to come through. like, and also how it has been handled. Like acid doesn't do well with exposure to sunlight.
Yeah, no.
That
No,
will make
God,
it go,
no.
it will make it go bad, and you'll be able to feel in your body.
Yeah, it
Like
turns it-
you want to always know
That
your
explains
source
a
of
lot.
where you
That
get something.
explains some
Always know
bad
your
New
source.
Orleans trips.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know how people are always like, oh, you get,
Got the
I-
shudders.
I had the
and,
bad
back
strychnine
hurt.
acid and da da da. Well, basically, the molecule starts to break down in sunlight immediately, and it turns into something that's really close to arsenic.
I
And
believe that. I believe
that's
that.
what
Yeah.
happened.
So
But
you
I
always
But
also
want to
anybody who
believe
mishandles it,
know
that
your
I've had
source.
telepathic powers while using LSD.
absolutely,
Yeah, it
that's a
opens.
very real thing,
it-
real
That is a
phenomenon.
very
that
real thing.
occurs.
I've communicated with people.
It opens up your mind in a way where it takes the calcification on your pineal gland,
Right.
and it just kind of like
Hear
shuts
that,
you
Oz?
away,
You just need
know?
to take some. Oz has got some calcification.
Yeah.
Acid.
Oh, I wanted to
There's a
just
bunch of things that
before
do
we
that.
get too far,
Clean the lens off.
I wanted to give Bella's dad our love. He he's been going through some stuff right now.
Aw.
So I wanted to before we I don't want to lose it in the chat.
Broke my joint over.
He has to go for pre-surgery check on the 31st and surgery on the 4th. So he needs our positive vibes.
That's
and love.
delicious. Positive vibes. Heal fast.
Yes. That's one thing that's really amazing. We had Sabby come on the show, and one
She's
thing that
awesome.
she's such a sweetheart.
She's
Such a
talking shit
sweetheart.
about the Kardashians, and I was like, heck yeah.
I never watched a Kardashian show.
Me neither, but they disgust me. So I'm glad when somebody calls them out.
Yeah, that's definitely good. I just don't know I don't know anything.
They're what's
about them,
wrong
really.
with our country. They're a fucking shining example.
I was telling her that I think something that's so amazing that I found is that in our chat fam, you can go in there and you like the part of the reason why we started this is because it's like I could go in there if I'm having a bad fucking day, I can say I'm having a fucking shitty day.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the support. And if you are like, oh, such and such, is happening, other people will say, oh, well, this person did cover that on this stream. It's just such an amazing community that we have here.
Chris,
and to be able to go in and just, know that, if something's going on with you, that someone's going to care. It's a really, really an amazing thing. And
we do care about each other in this community. And you're absolutely right. If I feel like I need something, I'm lonely or anything, I literally can just pop through a few chats and find you guys. Like where's Jelly? Where's Lucky? Yeah, totally. I love that our community has become that.
It's really a beautiful thing. And like Sabby was saying one day that like she saw in a chat that someone had said that they had like lost their job or something like that, and the whole chat was just filled with like support and love, and she was just like, I'm blown away by it. I'm like, yeah, we found like a way to have a space when we are so disconnected in this world where people don't know their neighbors.
Exactly it.
Or like, I mean, like we know our neighbors and we're friendly with our neighbors and stuff, but people are, I feel like we are in a zombie apocalypse.
We are
like,
in a zombie
people
apocalypse.
are just so fucking disconnected.
Yeah.
We just didn't realize that the zombies weren't going to be completely like, like the zombieism is the capitalism, and it's just, it's consume, repeat,
and technology. Capitalism and technology meeting head on is the zombieism. I see it too.
And it's like it's like we're already there. Like we are in the zombie, and it's, but we have this place that's like this little like niche, this little home where it's like we know, we have each other, and we have the support when we need it. It's really amazing.
Absolutely. And questions, like if I have a question about growing something, I mean, once we get to know each other in the community, I'm getting to know everybody that pops in on a daily basis. I can go like Jenna Colby. I can go to Jenna Colby and ask her a question about growing tomatoes, or the natural prepper. She's an amazing wealth of information about
she's going to be coming on the show too.
Chris is a sweetheart. I love Christine. She has been so supportive of us over the last, since we started Roar, and even before then when we were with Uphill
Steve, why are you eating
originally.
dishes?
But this is the caliber of people that I started to encounter in 2015 when I came on board to the
Steve.
Bernie Sanders campaign. And, you know, it just rolled from there. And I've never seen such an outreach of support and love and community since this movement. And so many all woke up around the same time. Like, you know, we got to fight for Bernie because that's our last chance. If we let these assholes win, we're screwed. Oh, they screwed us. Now what do we do? And, you know, people have kind of filtered off, but there's still a main core of us that have been together for 6 years now that, you know,
There's Christine right there.
yeah, Chris is in the chat.
Nice.
The natural progressive. Yes, she's coming on.
Chris, I sent you an email with that song in it for your opening.
I heard you were doing a song for her, Steve.
Yeah, I just sent it to her an email earlier.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
You know, I love
Super
music. I
excited.
love all things music. I've always got music playing right now. There's music playing. I just have it turned down. But Steve, that's what attracted me to you, just because you'll just go out there and do it. And I just love that. You know, I grew up with, you know, a family that everybody would get their guitars out and their, you know, banjos and they'd strum and they'd play and they'd jam. And I really miss that now that I've moved away from being around people that are in music. And I get that from you. I love that I can turn you on and go cook dinner and just listen to you jam out, listen to Lucky in the background, Leo's barking, you know, I love it.
I'm glad to provide that for people. I mean, people want to hear music and I want to play music, so it works out really nicely.
Yeah, it is. It keeps us going too, you know, like having the fam come in and just, you know, like I'll be having a bad day and be like, oh my God, do I really want to do that stream I scheduled later?
I
Like
know,
sometimes
right? We all do that. Like, fuck, I gotta do
I'm
a
like,
stream.
oh, I could just like, oh, you know, but then I'm like, then I do it and I'm like, oh,
That was fun. Why did I
not want to?
I know. I do
It
the
like
same
it
thing.
changes my mood, you know. It
does.
makes me, you know, it brings me into to a different place. Like Ricky Rance was on the other day and he came on and 6 hours later we're like, oh shit, oh my God, I can't believe we were on for all night, you know. And we started at like 10:30 at night, so it was like we were literally on all night. And it was like, yeah, it was just, but it was like he was like, I like this. It's like you know, this is like the place where, you know, you go to chill and hang out. Like this is like where everybody comes to hang out.
Spot.
Yeah.
Kate says I'm her open mic dude.
You're her open mic dude.
I will be your open
Well,
mic
we
dude. Kate.
featured you on Beauty and the Boomer for what, about 10 months now? Has it been longer than that?
Like consistently
I
for a
think
long
so,
fucking
yeah.
time.
Every Saturday night we bring a cut from you. I mean, in the
Mhm.
beginning, I just go find a cut that you did and I'd bring it. But
Mhm.
now you're making us custom cuts, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
I'm a
really
space shot though,
amazing.
because I'll make a video, I'll chop it out of a live stream or whatever, and
Right.
make it look all groovy and stuff, and then I'll be like, oh shit, because when I go to post it, it'll just post public, and I'm like, oh no, I need to make that so it's not public, so I can just share that with Roar for their thing. Like, and I keep doing that. I'm just like, post it, just post it, you know. So I just keep posting them. But
Well, you can post both of them, right? It don't matter if it's just on our show. We're going to get better about cutting clips. I mean, we should be cutting out clips from these things and getting them out. But with the algorithm, the way it's been on YouTube, it was just like, why even try to build over there? You know,
Yeah, it's
why
a
waste the
nightmare.
energy? Yeah.
We are our efforts are squarely on getting on Rockfin and making our Rumble and Odyssey thing grow. So that's
Yeah,
our
Steve
thing.
made these awesome things for us. Yeah, we have Kit Cabello and Pasta like very upset that Rockfin didn't put us on their platform yet. So like those two are working, you know, they're doing their thing.
Yeah, we got our Rockfin when there was only like 10 people on Rockfin, and we didn't have a name established. We weren't anybody, but Rockfin wasn't anything yet. And we knew that Convo was there. As soon as Convo had gone there, I was like, we got to get an account there. So we immediately applied for account there, and we started sending over our content that we had been doing for Uphill. And so, yeah, they gave us an account, and yeah, it was kind of a weird
that's
to
great.
be there from the ground up was long. And I mean, I remember when times when we had one person watching 2 people on the Rockfin.
That's kind of the deal that like where we're at, obviously, because you know only a couple hundred subscribers for either one of us, and it seems like they were just like reluctant, like they have this like system of vetting, like, you know
They
what
do.
I mean?
It's the algorithm. It's the
Yeah.
things that you're saying. So political words trigger the algorithm, and we've
Right.
had that problem with YouTube since day one. I mean, they won't let us get to 1,000. They keep pulling off, subs. Like we'll hit 920, and then all of a sudden 10 will disappear, and then 15
They do
will
that to me
disappear. And
constantly.
you're like, who the fuck went and unfollow? Do you ever really go unfollow somebody unless they insult you? I mean,
Right.
once you hit that sub button, you ain't going back and unfollowing unless
No.
Yeah, unless
usually
I'm
not.
really like, screw
agitated Jordan Charlton. I'm tired of him asking me for money. Unfollow.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Good point.
That's one definitely. But I'll notice that too. You know what? Even on like Twitter, they'll like unsubscribe me, but they will subscribe me to people.
Yeah.
I've been subscribed to like TYT a couple times, or was it TYT?
ABC. Yeah, I've done that too.
Anna Kasparian has me blocked.
click on
but
a
like
news
certain
story,
people, and I'm like, no, I don't. Why? I've only had my freaking Twitter for like, I don't know, like not even 2 years. So like, I'm like, no, I didn't. I would not have subscribed to this person.
It's like that's how they do it. If you click on a news story from channel fucking whatever, or
I
ABC,
don't click on that
NBC,
stuff though.
But I mean, if you even just read it and your mouse goes over it, they're like, "Oh, you must want to subscribe to them."
No,
No,
I
they
think they're
add
doing it
people-
intentionally because they said we were gonna see the rise of mainstream on social media, and immediately, this was like 2017, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, they started pushing in the algorithm, and then so if you watched anything like progressive type, all of a sudden you were subbing to those fucking
Right.
things.
Right.
Terrible.
Sneaky sons
It's
of bitches.
Crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Love and happy birthday to your mom, Al.
Happy birthday and love.
Yeah.
to your
My mom took morphine for many, many years. She had multiple sclerosis or MS. And their answer to her in the 90s and early 2000s was, here, take this morphine, take these pills. That's what it is. Western medicine isn't about curing you. It's about making you a lifelong customer.
It's a Band-Aid.
Yeah,
It's a Band-Aid. This actually, the COVID, like this whole thing, like in the beginning, we like completely were like all in, like, oh my God, completely freaked out.
Omicron.
And I remember like it didn't take us long to like figure it out. But in the beginning, I made all those masks and I sent them out, and I thought that I was.
I actually wear your mask. I have a stack of your masks, and I do wear them. Yeah, it didn't take me. I mean, I was freaked out in the very beginning too, because I knew about it way before most people knew about it, because I follow YouTubers all around the freaking world. And I started
too.
seeing YouTubers.
I had mask pattern printed before it was like even.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I pulled my doctor friend aside on January 3rd, and I'll never forget it because I'd had COVID over Christmas that year, and I'd been to the doctor, and they said, oh, it's a new virus, we don't know what it is. I couldn't breathe. I fought for air, and I had long COVID. It took me till March of 2020 to get rid of that strain. And I was the first one screaming like, hey, this is gonna get bad, they're gonna use this. But then the vaccine, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the vaccine. I'm going to take the vaccine. I'll just stay home and wait for the vaccine. Right. I had trusted vaccines. I wasn't fucking anti-vax. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. We got all of our MMRs and blah, blah, blah. It wasn't a big deal, even though vaccines have changed a dramatic amount since the 90s. But then as I started doing the research, and all of our brothers and sisters in this community, in this space, start sending you research, and Physicians for Social Responsibility are sending me information. And I'm reading all this information going, ooh, I'm going to put the brakes on this. I don't think they know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I was absolutely skeptical when it came to, when it came to the shot. Absolutely. I was like, yeah, no, I don't know what the long-term effects of that are. And that just doesn't seem right to me. But like it really snapped us into like, we went vegetarian, and we quit smoking tobacco. And
I just got COVID again last month, and I think that quitting smoking probably saved my fucking life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We had it in January, and I still deal with brain fog. Like I have like fibromyalgia already. So like, I get that whole, like the body, hurts, and I have Lyme disease, so I deal with the
Most of the West Coast does. And can I tell you, Lyme disease was intentional.
Of course.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It was invented across the fucking water.
CHANDA, I lived in East Lyme, Connecticut.
Yeah.
When I got Lyme disease. We know where Plum Island is. We can
Yeah,
see that.
exactly. It was an experiment, and I learned that in 2016. I was in
Deer
Philadelphia
know how to
for
swim.
the
Deer can swim.
DNC convention. Yeah, I was at the DNC convention, and I met this woman who was there protesting, and she started telling me about it. I'm from the West Coast, Seattle. I don't know shit about Lyme disease.
It's on every continent.
Right.
He's like, everybody in our town has it. It's a bioweapon they released on us. It's just, she blew my mind. And
you know that they were
It's
supposed to
wild.
release information about it. I have not seen anything. I don't know if
Yeah,
anyone's
you're
done
right.
any research, but it's supposed to be like that 50-year mark where they have to release information, and it just quietly to the wayside didn't get released. And then I was looking into it, and there's some we gotta get on Rockfin because there is some stuff I want to go into. The
You can't talk about that. This is YouTube.
the Lyme disease and this are very similar. They're not exactly the same, but the way that I felt with this. When have you ever had a virus or anything that is completely linear?
You
like
can feel
Skyla had it first,
Yeah.
and then like it was like 3 or 4 days later, I would get that symptom, and then Steve a few days later, and we all
it was
got
like a
it
straight
in
line.
succession.
In succession,
Like-
all three of us. Boom, boom.
Yes,
boom,
and
boom,
it's
boom, boom, boom,
it's
boom,
the
boom.
weirdest thing ever.
Like a machine
And you can
program.
feel that it's engineered when it's in your body. It
Yes.
knows where your
It
weaknesses
hurt
is.
at first,
It
like,
hurts.
it really tore apart. It felt like my spine was being ripped out of me. Like
Yeah, it's
it
not-
hurt so
yeah, it's
bad.
not
Like I
pleasant.
was just down for the count. And then like it was like, all right, this is the weirdest thing. Like I kept waiting for like just like it to be bad. You know what I mean? Like you're just kind of like waiting for that, for it to like, like just be fully kicked in or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but it just
yeah.
never got there. And then it just felt like it was a very anticlimactic, like it just didn't have its like, when you get sick, normally it's like you get sick and you kind of have a peak and then you just like, this, it was
Right.
like
Just a long linger.
Yeah, no, you're
and-
right. You're absolutely right. And
Shit.
just when I thought I was getting better, I would go back down again. Like,
Yeah.
3-4 days into it, like, okay, because I took a bunch of, experimental health things that, might help. A little
Oh, yeah, we
extra
took all
garlic,
kinds of
some
health
extra- Me
herbs
too.
and
And so
stuff,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, okay, that stuff must have worked. I'm starting to feel a little better. And then the
Right.
next day, I'd be right back down on my face. But it was the fighting for breath. I mean, the
Yeah.
first
we
time
didn't-
I
didn't
got
get
it,
that like that part wasn't that bad. I think it's because we got it later on too.
well,
I'm
was
pretty
the
sure we
second,
were
it's the
exposed to it,
difference
though.
variant.
You know what I mean?
because
Yeah, different variants for sure.
The very first variant attacked my lungs like nothing I'd ever lived through.
I
And
remember
when I went to the
Feeny
doctor,
when she was like she
They
was that
said,
heavy
you
cough.
have what do they call that? You get it from not
Like
emphysema.
COPD.
It's like COPD. They go, oh, you have COPD, and I was like,
Like
that's funny. I've
blurred
never
thing.
had COPD before. And when I finally healed from that COVID in about March, it took about 4 or 5 months. It went away, and I was like, well, that's fucking weird. They told me I had COPD. No, it was just that strain of fucking COVID gets into your lungs, and it
I
literally
remember
takes
you
your
Yeah.
breath.
saying that. I
I've heard that
remember
from other people as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I remember you saying that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I remember you were still smoking, and I
ironic.
was
Yep.
like, "Oh gosh!" I would have like we would be sitting like watching, and I'd be like, "Oh gosh!" I just really hope she could quit, because I had quit myself, like at the beginning of the whole thing, and Steve was after me, but it was like that.
I think
That was
Steve
the one
still
thing
smoking
that
when
it
I met
did
you guys.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
probably was.
Yeah.
what? Oh my gosh! And I can't believe like what a difference it makes
That's
in
weird
your
that you-
body. Skyla still. We got this in January. She still doesn't have her taste.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, my daughter took her years to get hers back too.
Yeah,
Years?
it's
Years.
crazy.
She's like, she can
Mine took
barely
months.
taste.
Mine was like gone like a good month and a half, and then it finally was like, oh, I think I can taste again.
I had a big thing of Ben
No
and
weed
Jerry's,
again.
and I was eating it, and I was like, "Why am I eating fucking 15,000 calories? I can't even taste." And I just threw it back in the freezer.
Yeah,
It's like
right?
8%. Yeah.
It's like it's not worth the calories. It's
Did
not
you
worth
know
it.
That the lead singer of INXS, Michael Hutchins, he smacked his head in an alley, and he couldn't taste or smell anything. And now he's a world famous musician. He can have the best
Yeah.
foods and the best wines. He owns a bunch of vineyards and shit.
Couldn't
And that's why some people say that he killed himself because he couldn't taste or smell anything.
Yeah, man, it's a really, really fucked up
It really is.
loss.
I mean, just everything that
really
everybody's going
strange.
through. It's like they're putting us to extreme. Can you imagine if we didn't live in such stressful times? Can you imagine if, as science evolves and we're supposed to get like, you know, more advanced, like our life expectancy wasn't going in reverse? Like, can you imagine if like
If
all
medicine
the
actually
right.
works the way that they fucking claim it does,
What they
and-
promised us, like this golden future that we were supposed to have with the advancing
Right.
technologies. Yeah.
yeah, and we're just getting
Imagine-
worse. Like it's
imagine-
not getting better.
Imagine for a moment that you know, every bit of community that used to hold tribes of people together was still in place. How strong the bonds and how strong of a society we would have. They've destroyed that, and that's
They have.
that, and the
Yeah.
fact that you spend your life being extracted of your energy, of your life force, and that's what they do. They're mining us all. We're in a fucking coal mining operation. That's what we
Yep.
live in.
Absolutely.
With no community to even go home and bitch about the coal mining situation, because
No, they want
separated
us.
you from
They don't want
everybody.
us organizing, coming together,
Right.
uniting. Yeah,
Yep.
no, they want us separated.
Yes,
But I mean,
Gotta
they're
keep 'em
going to kill us either
separated.
apart or they're going to kill us together. So what do we want to do?
Right.
I mean, at this point, it's like, you know, really, I mean, like, they're gonna take me out. They're gonna take me out. I won't give up. I won't pass this on to the next generation like it's been passed on to us, and continue to let it be passed on
Go
without
down
a
with a
fight.
fight.
Like I'm at my wits end with it. Like,
Well,
I'm
that's
just
why I'm
done.
ageist.
Like,
You know,
like-
Beauty and the Boomer is a nod to ageism. And, you know, I so many of us, I don't want to be ageist, but God damn it, I'm pissed that, you know, so many of them, it's all about just them living comfortably. It doesn't matter about the next generations. You know, the Blue Dog Dims are,
and we got to break that cycle. Like,
yeah, we have to.
yeah, and see that was a weird thing. Jilly said I never get the flu. Yeah, I've had the flu once in like maybe like I don't know, 25
Yeah, I haven't had it once
years.
since COVID
Like
hit.
one.
No.
And then I got COVID. Like that was like I would say like 6 or so years ago that I had it. But before, like even with autoimmune stuff, like I always, you know, did the echinacea and did all the natural stuff to boost my immune system.
Right.
And so like I never dealt with like anything like that. Like it was insane. Yeah, like I never really got the flu before. Skylar was born in the middle of 2003 when there was the swine flu, you know.
Oh, I remember when they scared us with that. Thank God I was a drunk back then, didn't watch TV. So
Oh my God. Well, I gave birth
was-
to Skyla in the middle of that. She was born on the 22nd of December.
Did they lock
It was
us
a
down or
SARS
make us wear
prequel.
masks? I don't remember that.
They like limited like how many people could go in the hospital, and like they were like, oh, they have to have like a mask and a gown on, and
It was the SARS.
everybody wash your
one
hands. Like,
prequel.
oh yeah, it was the SARS.
See, when
Like,
you just
oh my
tune
God.
out, you don't know these things. I just
That's
spent
right.
those years tuned out.
That's
I
exactly
didn't
it.
do any. I gave birth to my daughter. I didn't get a flu shot or do anything different. I was like, yeah, can you wash your hands? Like, I just wasn't, you know, like a germaphobe. And you know, thankfully, I breastfed her, and you know, like she's got a really strong immune system. I don't think she ever really had the flu in her life or anything like that. Like, she just really
And that's
wasn't a
another
sick
thing.
kid. Like,
That's another thing too. Like if you get the flu, like Elle's like, you know, I think when I had COVID, it reminded me of when I had the flu as a kid. And if I
Yeah.
even had COVID, you know what I mean? Because who the fuck is to say? You know, there's
I never got a
probably-
test.
There's probably dozens of fucking
Well, there's
variants
dozens and
and
dozens
bioweapons
of
that will fuck you up.
coronaviruses in the
Yes,
world. We've
yes.
already been vaccinating our pets against coronaviruses for 30, 40 fucking years. And so when I got told I had coronavirus in 2019, December of 2019, I didn't freak out. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I've heard of that. You know, it's a
Right.
flu. It's common cold virus, basically. And then
Yeah.
2 months later, the whole world erupts and it's a big, you know, to do. But obviously they
Yeah.
knew what I had in December because it said it on my fucking paperwork.
That's wild.
Isn't
And
it?
the
That was
thing that-
before the narrative was in
But
control.
then now they're admitting it. The Seattle Times here, because remember it showed up in Seattle first,
yes.
and they say, "Oh, okay, maybe it was here, maybe in October."
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you know, it was released all over the fucking place, and it took as long as it took
Yeah,
to get it to be everywhere. And the fact is that how many other ones have they released? in this time.
Well, and what's new? What's
all
happened?
the lead up, all the a decade lead up to this. Everybody's writing fucking. There's a pandemic coming. There's a pandemic.
Everybody.
Coming.
I was reading the Hot Zone in the 90s. We knew they were fucking around doing bioweaponry in the 90s.
That's 30 years, right? 30 years that people, the same insiders that knew that
Fauci,
Fauci, the big pharma heads of state, right? All of those guys knew 30 years ago when they stopped testing for safety on their vaccines that they were going to create this fucking thing and blow it out of the water. It just wasn't like, it took a couple of tries. I think the first one was the SARS one. They tried to get it, and then another one, maybe not so so public and publicized and stuff. Like I believe this has been going on for a long time. And there's a bunch of different
it's going on way longer than that. I mean, you go and look at what the military's been doing since World War I. I mean, we've been playing around with bioweaponry for fucking ever. And it's a hell of a lot more advanced. Everything that we are told in the public is about 30 years later than what we think it is.
Absolutely.
And so
yeah.
Imagine the look and surprise on poor farmers' faces out in the Ukraine when our drones start showing up and just popping.
They already are. I saw one crash the other day that looked like a spaceship, right? Because they want people to think that it's an alien invasion, not a fucking drone invasion. So they've got a shit ton of technology in the military that looks like spacecraft. So they can, and if you notice, the UFO narrative has really gotten loud over the last few years with the military and the government going, oh, well, yeah, okay, there's some stuff out there. We don't know what it is, but
yeah, they know what the fuck it is. That's the funny part is like,
we don't
that
have 30-year
window of, well, maybe they can do this. Maybe it's not really Star Trek. No, motherfucker, they can do all that shit more than you can imagine. And
I believe Stranger Things
not that
is real.
effectively yet, but certainly they have.
Well,
I think they've punched holes in other freaking dimensions. I really do.
Oh,
I think they're trying to figure out how to extort other dimensions. They're like, what? There's an infinite number of fucking dimensions with gold out there. Oh, we're gonna find them.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely, I believe it. I think that we already were on other planets. The other planets are we that's where we probably were, and we came here and we adapted to here because
it's not an experiment. I tell people that every day.
Our DNA is closest actually to fungi, to mushrooms.
Yeah.
Why is that? And why are they, if they're not from here, they are spores from outer space. They are not from this planet.
Yeah.
So where the fuck are we from?
I
We're
think
just
it's really
cosmic
obvious.
dust. We come from everywhere.
Yeah,
Mars. We already destroyed Mars. That's the thing. We were already there.
I think we did too.
The marmot in the Hadron Collider is the main reason that
I knew about that in 2016. Now the Hadron Collider has freaked me out since their opening fucking ceremonies.
Yeah,
like what
and they got more of them now.
Satanic shit was that? And then yes, absolutely. There used to be on YouTube, you used to be able to find some crazy fucking rabbit holes. They've wiped those off since 2016. But I remember one where they had some Hadron Collider scientists and they were talking about like spirits and ghosts that are like haunting them now inside the Hadron because like they made it through the dimension. And they're like, and then did you see that video about the sacrifice in the courtyard of the Hadron Collider?
Yeah.
What the
There's some fucking wish
shit is going on here?
Witchcraft.
You have to have a little bit of spiritual side to yourself to understand what's truly fucking happening in this dimension, in this realm. And I think that's where people want to disconnect because, I'm not into religion. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about spirituality.
We are on a fucking floating goddamn planet in the middle of this universe. You're going to tell me we're not magical? Come on.
The fact of the matter is that those people that are bending the rules and bending the time, space, and fucking shit up and making things weird like Hadron Colliders and so on. They're saying the byproduct from that is creating, tiny microscopic fucking universes. Like, and you know what I mean? So that's a pretty fucking weird concept.
Yeah, are we ripping holes in the fabric of time? Very well could be. I mean, if you follow some of the smartest people that have ever fucking lived,
Yeah.
You know, they
It
tell
would
you
seem that we are.
yeah, absolutely.
Time isn't linear like they say it is. It's more like a rubber band. You know what I mean?
You can
Like
bend it, you can
it-
touch it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
like it is not. It's not like some like thing where you can just mathematically like, you know, you can probably write it all down mathematically, but like
It's not a static
they can
thing.
do that, but
Yeah.
I can tell you because I know it. You
well,
know,
and there's
like,
so much antimatter in this universe that is unexplained, and you know, I think that what we were told, isn't it crazy what we were taught as kids in school, like, you know, in the 70s and 80s about the planets and the universe, how that narrative has changed so dramatically because of tremendously, like, oh my God, the shit that we thought is mind blowing. And how the fuck did we ever get to the goddamn moon with the technology we had back then?
The idea that this is the thing that gets me
we
all
were
the time
talking about the moon
is the
too.
fact that the fucking full moon that we're talking about the space that the people are getting to with the Hadron Collider and messing with the space-time, that place, that intersection
The upside down is what I call it.
Of our fucking reality and somebody else's reality,
they fucked it up.
dimensions.
We skipped. We jumped. They jumped us off of our fucking timeline.
They have like, we're all like, now we're on like a merry-go-round in the playground and it's spinning way too fast and you can hardly hang on to it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. But the idea is like really intense to me. Like, I love this part of it. Like, since we're from the earth provides the thing to see into that dimension organically, naturally. You take the ayahuasca, you take the DMT or the toad venom and smoke some DMT. You can cross over. Absolutely. I've traveled to these areas. That's what I'm saying.
I've been to some fucking amazing place. It is fascinating. I was in this meadow. I can't even explain it. I don't have words or the vocabulary to explain the things that I've seen in other.
Really hard to articulate your journey there.
But I was happy.
Get your head around it and you come back.
Yeah, no, I was happy and like, oh my God, that was a fuck amazing.
So I foresaw the death of this timeline that we are in, that we are still currently in before all this happened. I had a DMT trip before this whole COVID thing happened. And I remember telling Steve, like, there is so much that is happening. Like there is going to be so much death. There's going to be so much like, oh my gosh. I just didn't realize that it was going to be not all at once dropping. Like it was going to like, it's happening in waves.
It is happening in waves because they don't want us questioning it. You know, you can take a petri dish,
but
I
saw
the environment right. Those petri, you know, they'll grow and they'll grow infinitely until you take their food source away, what's making them live. And that's what they're doing to us. They needed us, you know. Slavery was so prevalent in the US in the 1800s because they had the cotton gin and they needed people to pick cotton. They don't need us anymore. We were the worker race for them, and every major empire has them. Yep. They don't need us anymore. They've got their computers and AI.
They never got rid of slavery. They made it inclusive. They
did make it inclusive. Yeah, they included everybody with private prison systems. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, just, I mean, in general, I mean, think about it. If you can't grow a garden instead of grass and you can't collect water that falls from the sky, like, then like that, you know what I mean? Like, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
How can they ban a plant from us? How come hops is fine to make your beer or potatoes is fine for the, for the alcohol, but we can't have ganja? That is a sacred plant. You know what I mean? Like, that is a sacred.
That's a medicine. Plant. It's a freaking medicine, and they made it illegal when we made marijuana legal in Washington State. We made it illegal to fucking grow it. So you have to have a license to grow it in this state. Even though I can go down the store and spend 50% tax and buy it from some corporate marijuana company that's probably secondhand owned by the state in one way or another.
That sucks.
We're fighting it. We've been fighting. We've been pushing homegrown bills for fucking years, and they just shut us down, man. I go, we can grow tomatoes, but we can't grow this. What the fuck?
I say that all the time. It's ridiculous.
It's truly ridiculous.
Until people start realizing it's a fucking plant. Like, it's just plain and simple. It's the simplest thing. How dare they tell me that I can't grow a plant?
I mean,
and how to use it. That's ridiculous.
All the plants are medicine.
But
everything is medicine.
But
like living on this planet, with things symbiotically is using medicine.
I know that, but for people that have all these weird like reservations about it, you go, it's really just a plant. Like Native Americans used it as a spice. Like it is a plant. How like when you bring it, not how it's being used and how we want to use it. You know what I mean? Like I don't tell people what they have to do with the tomato plants that they grow, and I don't tell them
it's big. It's these big industries that are trying to kill it. For a long time it was big alcohol.
The way that we bring that though to people's attention to where they go, yeah, that's stupid, is by saying we're really
still fighting
it's
the
really weird
stigma. We're still fighting the stigma of marijuana because the generations above us were taught with reefer madness that
you remind people
you'll rape women and blah blah blah. So you have to be very vocal about it. Is what I do.
From a plant too. Why is that plant okay? You know what I mean? Like we need to remind people that that it is just a different plant.
Yeah,
and I don't stop you from using your plant. Don't stop me from using mine.
That's overlooked like really often when people are like, well, you want your beer and you want this, and it's like the beer and the fucking weed are both made from plants. It's
I grew up in an alcoholic home with violent alcoholics, and I would take them being stoned any day of my life over them drinking, and just knowing just how evil and terrible alcohol was. You couldn't even convince me when I was 12 years old that marijuana was worse than alcohol, because I had already lived 13 years of violence with alcoholics. There was no, so the just say no or blah, blah, blah. Like, it's fucking weed. Come on, man. Like,
exactly.
It's a plant. You know what I mean? Like when we bring
that's the thing.
When you bring it back to that basic thing, I think that it hits people. They go, yeah. You know what I mean? Like we have to figure out ways to like snap the zombified into like, a very simplistic, that's just a plant. And then
I like your breakdown how we're actually living in the zombie apocalypse.
No, we are.
Except for nobody's aware of the fact that they're zombies.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I know I'm a zombie.
Like, I mean, people are still just, even in all of this, even in all the chaos of what's happening around them, they're still just eating, going to work.
I'm guilty.
Sleeping, recycle, eat, sleep. You know what I mean? Like it's
we like
people are in these habits of doing this, and until that cycle is disrupted, people aren't going to care enough.
Yeah, we like repetition. We like things to be standardized. We like to know,
because we've all been indoctrinated, and
we've been fully indoctrinated
from 4 or 5 years old, right? You go to
one.
school for 8 hours a day, you go to work for 8 to 10 hours a day, you take Friday or Saturday and Sunday off, and so that's all we know. And I
listen
get like
to those bells, those bells in school.
You almost get this like imposter syndrome when you bulk the system and say, fuck it, I'm not going to work in the system anymore. And I've done it a couple of times in my adult life. Like, no, I'm not participating in this fucking game anymore. I'm tired of being exploited. And then you go, okay, well, then, what do you mean you don't have a job? Well, what do you mean? You stay home.
Yeah, suddenly it's like, oh, well, now you're outside of society.
Yeah, they've made that system so that if you don't take part in it, even if you're able to,
I refuse.
Be fucking independently wealthy and be able to live outside of it.
I'd rather live in a box than deal with their fucking system, pay their taxes, play their game, be owned by whoever is paying me $12 a fucking hour and treated subhuman. And that's all I've ever known for 30 fucking years as a minimum wage worker.
That's all of us. That's what everybody, if you're in certain caste, you know what I mean? That's how you came up, and that's what from day one.
Oh yeah.
I reckon, and I've come to this realization like not too fucking long ago that every single thing that I've ever read, saw on TV, or watched in a movie, or listened to from certain areas of music has all been predisposed to the ends of the people who have the power. They're guiding you down the fucking road. They put guardrails on either side of you,
Yep.
keep you, and that's it. That is it
Yep.
from day one till the day you die. They lie to you, and that's it. They just fucking lie, and they just spin it so that it suits them, and that's what you can expect.
But you can still get food stamps if you're not working. So hey, don't be proud.
Sure, yeah, don't be proud.
Actually, I could have applied for unemployment the whole 2 years that we were on, because I left my job like 3 months before COVID because of, for one, Bernie Sanders was running. So I was planning on hitting the ground as a field organizer. But
Right.
I was tired of being bossed around by my boss, who is this fucking Scientologist, thinks he knows better, elite. And, I just...
about Scientology?
Oh, I know all about
We gotta do
Scientology.
a Scientology show.
I'm an SP. I'm a proud SP, as I might say.
Wow.
But and the exploitation
God.
of these people
So
and how
excited.
they exploit the weaker people below them. And that's what these elite do. I mean, I don't care if it's a corporation or if it's, it's just so
Absolutely.
disgusting. So I didn't, because I knew. I have played with our systems enough to know if I go and I apply for unemployment and I jump through all their hoops and I go do everything I'm supposed to do, 6 months down the fucking road, I'll get a letter saying, oh, hey, guess what? We decided that you didn't really qualify because of blah, blah, blah. And they'll make you pay it back. Now, they've done this to me 3 fucking times in my adult life. Every time I've ever collected unemployment as a citizen, I've had to pay it back eventually. So I'm just like, all you do is take money from me, take money from me, take money from me. You go and you fight these guys. I played for Social Security. I had a gamut of problems I'm not going to list, but a 4-year fight going before a Republican judge woman who just said, no, you can go to work. I don't care what mental illness
I had a
you
Social
fucking
Security
had.
judge ask me why I didn't take painkillers when I was pregnant with my daughter.
They're so these guys live in gated fucking communities,
Yeah.
and they're judging the poor who are begging for fucking years for goddamn pennies that we've paid into. And they just I gave up about 10 years ago and said, I'm fucking done playing in this goddamn system. I'll live in a cardboard box and I'll eat food out of a fucking garbage can before I go be treated and exploited by these people any longer.
Yeah.
Same.
It's like when the COVID hit, I was playing music like every weekend, and 2, 3, 4 times a week, depending on.
Steve.
And so I'm out there playing all the time, and then all of a sudden, now I have no fucking income whatsoever. I'm just
and they'll tax it now. They
Yeah.
used to not come after gigged money, but now if anything over $300,
they
they're
try
going to
like make it so that it seemed like if you were living in Connecticut and you were a gig worker, you'd be taken care of. I filled out the paperwork, nothing.
Nothing. No,
Not
but
a
they gave
cent.
the big corporations, and all that PPE money went to fucking the ultra uber rich, and us freaking poor people. No, sorry, there was no money left. No, you don't qualify.
I got a check, Shonda, for $1.60 something the other day. I was like, what the fuck? It probably cost them more to fucking print this and send me this stupid check, and me to fucking, if I didn't have to go to the fucking bank for something else, I wouldn't have even done anything with
And
it.
then they'll keep 40% just for fucking taking it from you.
And it was a Bank of America check, and I go, you know what?
Oh
I
my
couldn't even
God.
go cash this at Bank of America.
No, because it's $3.
because they would charge me.
Yeah, it would have cost you $3 or $4.
Banking for the poor is another one of my big fucking bitches.
Oh,
I
I
have
hate
been
them.
ripped off by big banks my whole entire life.
Yep.
Right now I've been doing Chime for a couple of years. They're a card, that you can load money onto. Their
Sure.
fees are very reasonable. There's free ATMs and there's no fucking charges. I mean, even if you have a direct deposit coming in, they'll give you a free overdraft up to a certain amount. They've been amazing. They don't hit you with any fees. So I would say check out Chime if you guys are out there looking for a bank that's not going
that's
to
cool. I've heard
screw
good things
you.
about them as well.
Yeah, that's what we need to do, is make sure that we are communicating too. Like,
Yeah.
what companies
Fuck
are good
big
companies? Like,
banks. I know we
and
need to tell each other.
patronize
Yeah.
these companies, because that's the only way that, like, because it's so big and so vast, and it's like it's constantly changing. It's like, oh, GoFundMe was a fucking shit thing, and then now it's like Give, Send, Go, and I'm like, okay, which one is it now? Like, where do we find
GoFundMe's always sucked, and it pisses me off that you give so much. Over the years, I've used GoFundMe to raise a lot of money for my travels, and the amount of money that I gave GoFundMe 3% over the fucking board. It's thousands of fucking dollars. And they're getting that from everybody. These guys aren't helping anybody. They're not a great fucking place. And I'm glad that I'm seeing GoFundMe die. But yeah, where is the next place? Is it Gibson Go?
Money
I don't know.
launderers.
Yeah,
There was
exactly.
there was this one I think my brother or sister had gotten me a gift card for this company called Kiva, Kiva, and it was so it was like, I don't know, $25 gift card or something, but I got to take that gift card, and that $25 was, I got to pick where the loan went to within all the, like, I could pick what country I wanted, and based upon, like, if I wanted to pick out a mom, or a single dad, or a farmer, or somebody that liked to sew, and it was a way to like, you loaned them the money, and then, like, as the loan came back and they paid back their loan, you got it back on your card, and you got to invest the money, and you could pick, or you could just let it go wherever you wanted. And it was really neat. And eventually, I think, because I didn't, like, it just went into their, like, general, like, fund of how they do it or whatever, but something like that, like, that's an amazing,
there is good social companies too. Like, I had Credo phone company for many years, and every month they allow you to allocate so much percentage to a charity of your choice, or then they give you lists of ones that you could choose from. And I always thought that was kind of cool, because it at least a little bit of the bill I'm giving them is going to something good.
Right.
That's the way I look
That's
at
a
it.
positive thing. Absolutely.
Right. But you got to have good credit to get into a lot of those, Credo. Yeah. I'm one of those type of people, because I've been married to men.
Man.
I've never built a lot of credit in my name, and what credit I have had has been shit. So I don't play the credit score game, and I fucking absolutely refuse to play the credit score game. If I can't buy it with cash, then I don't want to buy it, because I'm not playing the interest thing. And I look back at over the years at the amount of money I probably saved myself by having bad credit and not paying absorbent fucking interest fees. Yeah.
I would owe millions, I'm sure, because I would finance everything. I would have fucking,
they know better than to give me credit.
Rooms full of Marshall stacks and shit. Like,
right. You're born into debt. Like, you're born and you're in debt. You die.
I had medical debt before I even turned 18 because of the way our fucking healthcare system was in the 80s. Yeah.
It's insane.
Phenomenal that we like our credit unions. Like, that's
credit unions I use. Yeah, I have a good credit union.
Yeah, we have a credit union. Like, not like we really help them much. I mean, I just basically have that.
But it's not going to matter when they want to shut us down. Yeah, when they want to shut us down, it's not going to matter though. If your money is sitting in an FDIC insured account, they'll be able to attach it. No matter who it's with.
Yeah, you know what? Your real wealth is in seeds, in knowledge, in
pocketable shit,
the stuff that they cannot take away from you. Like, what are you going to take? Like, are you going to run to the bank and empty your account if the shit goes down?
Vacuum packed pounds of cured weed.
That's what grandma did. They buried everything in coffee cans in the backyard for a goddamn reason, because they watched the banks fail on them in the 20s. There's a reason they did stuff the mattress.
But the money's not even worth anything. Like, if shit goes down, you think people are gonna be like, oh yeah, you got that 20? Like, who the fuck is gonna care if you have like a piece of paper or not?
It's like, Bob, I'm eating my cat. What are you talking about? Do I have that $20? God damn it. Fuck off.
Well, I'm a big fan of Walking Dead, and they got a storyline on there right now, and I've watched since the very beginning years ago, but they've got a storyline where there's people that are trying to start a new monetary system in the new world, right? So we're always going to have that need for exchange for goods for services. And what will it be in the future? I don't know.
Buckskin, you know what I mean?
Right.
It is whatever is an assigned value. We could our freaking we could make buttons a freaking.
I hope the next thing is buttons.
The value.
I hope the next thing is buttons. Like, I got this badass Rolling Stones button from the 70s, bro. It's worth like.
I collect buttons too, Steve. So that I hope it's that too.
Oh my god!
I have a cork wall covered in buttons. Like, that's my thing. I'm a button girl.
Yeah.
I gave 5,000 buttons out from Seattle to DC for Bernie Sanders in 2016.
Damn.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. It's
Her-
awesome.
her
Somebody
sweet-
just made them and gave them to me. They were amazing. They had the most cool sayings. They had like Snoopy characters, and there was Grateful Dead ones. It was awesome. And I'd give them to homeless, and I'd be like, "Here, sell these. Sell them for like $1 or $2 a
Hell
piece,
yeah.
and get yourself something to eat." Because Bernie
Hell
Sanders
yeah.
was insanely popular at that time. Everything was burning, you know. So yeah, that's what I did all the way across the country because I
That's
drove
fucking
to
cool.
DC.
Yeah, I always tell people that some of the best conversations that I have are the people that are houseless on the street.
Yep.
That I go and I just freaking end up talking to. You know, I have little Leo, so like everybody, and he's my
He's a
service dog.
conversation starter. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
you know,
Big time.
everywhere I go, if I'm there, Leo's with me. And so like, you know, everyone knows him at like there's certain stores that we go to and they know him. They buy him treats. Like, you know, like he has a fan club. And
He literally has.
I
a guy
know.
at
I'm
the-
on
at
it.
the-
I even have my little Leo magnet right here.
There's a guy at the store at the Stop and Shop. His name is Max, and he's like the assistant manager guy who helps you and stuff when you go.
We have
through
a
the
picture of
checkout.
him.
And he's like,
Leo.
"Oh, Leo family." Every time me and Skyla walk
He
in
call-
there for something,
like
he's
Leo family.
You're
That's
the
what he
Leo
calls
family.
them.
I ran a lot of C stores for many years, and that's funny because you just know people by what they are. Marlboro smoker, guy
Oh,
with the
yeah.
white dog, you know, like yeah. That's
That is,
funny.
yeah.
This has been a great conversation, guys. It's gone by
Super
super fast. I can't believe we've already been on here for 2 hours.
I know it's crazy.
Telling you, man.
There's
it's
no
so
like
fun.
there's like no set time limit. Like you don't have to be here for 2 hours and 11 minutes or anything to meet contractual obligations.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
there's no.
I have to jump off at 9 because my partner, he streams too. He is
Oh,
a Call of Duty player and he does live streaming. And so we kind of have to go back and forth on who gets the bandwidth and the airtime. You know?
That
Right
is
on.
so funny. And like the time, you know, like what,
Right.
what time.
And sometimes I'd be like, oh, you can just play. I'm just going to keep doing it. And he gets so involved with his language that it doesn't work.
that is so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I know the
Well, this
gamers.
has been awesome. Thank you for
they
hanging
get
with us.
crazy.
No, this has been absolutely a blast. I'm excited. I got to meet a few new people. Ellie, glad to meet you. Bella. Yeah, you guys stop by Roar Media and check us out if you haven't already. You know, Oz
Yeah,
and
I
do-
sent Elle. She started coming over the last couple of Saturdays with us.
great.
And she absolutely adores all like the
Aw, thanks.
the cute little like imagery graphics and stuff.
Well-
She's always like, "Oh, I love the graphics. I love the graphics." And
I think of it as scrapbooking. Like I'm really into scrapbooking. I've always loved scrapbooking. And so when I sit down with the slide deck, I'm pulling shit that I saw on Twitter. That meme was funny. Oh, that tweet was funny. Oh, we got to talk about this clip. And you know, because so many of us, we just live to consume all this content all the time. And Oz and I, we do consume this content. So why not bring it to you guys so you guys can catch the stuff that you didn't have time to watch, or maybe you missed it. You know, just a one-stop shop is kind of what we were trying to do. Like, this is all the crazy shit we saw. You know,
I love that. It's just like a little synopsis of funny, and this is how fucked up the world is this week. You know,
Yeah, right.
fucking great.
I got some fucked up shit tomorrow. You'll have to check it out. The Portland City Council. You remember the one where the clown showed up and
Oh yeah,
did his 2 minutes? Well, they've been at it again, so you'll have to stop by tomorrow to check out who showed up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
That's
freaking
freaking great.
hilarious.
oh my gosh, will he let us have like? Oh, we still have a few more minutes, right? We
Yeah,
have
we're good.
another
We're
minute.
good.
Okay. All right, because I want to show you. We got to figure out which one we're gonna show of Alex. Which Alex video, guys?
Yeah, which
Because
Alex
these
video?
guys know what I'm talking about. I think I had you guys play one of Alex's videos before. He's a Connecticut comedian and he's hilarious and he deals with a lot of mental health stuff and he's very open about it.
I love
And
the Doris ones. The Doris
oh my
ones
god,
are
yes,
funny.
I'm wearing his grandmother's shirt. Like
Aw.
it's so he has a grandmother and she's so adorable. Oh my god.
I love grannies.
Yeah, what? Yeah, is she like 106 now?
Wow. That's living your best life, man.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's hilarious. I can't find the one that remember the pasta one that we had that we sent the pasta. We actually sent pasta because of Alex Trainer video. I sent him the link, but I don't think it was.
Have you got to meet them in real life yet?
No.
They are absolutely just like you see them. They are just cool cats, man. Pete and Pasta and Glory and Steve and Franco. They are all amazing in person.
Yes. Yeah, we will definitely. Yeah, Steve Pokemon. That's what I call him. He keeps saying
funny. You get all of us in a
guys
room
gotta
and
come
it's fucking
visit.
hilarious. We are ripped and a riot, let me tell you.
I don't know where the friggin' remember there was that whole one that was only the pasta one. I'm about to message Alex and find it. But all right, let's find one. Are we gonna do which one are we gonna do with Grandma? Her birthday?
Do the grandma's birthday is what Adams is saying.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You're gonna love her. You're gonna fall in love.
Sure, I will.
I'm so confident that you will fall in love with Grandma Doris. Yes, Steve. Yes. And I got him and I got Steve and I their Doris shirts. Oh my God. Look at her.
Oh yes, okay, I know. Yeah. I love the natty light in the background. Hell yeah, Granny.
Okay. So like I'm wearing the shirt that matches.
That's super cute. And yeah, I've seen these. I've seen some of these. Doesn't her grandson film them?
Yes, it's
okay.
Alex's.
Yeah.
Alex's,
okay, I know about this. Yeah.
And you're invited to the biggest rager that's ever ended at 9 p.m. Dude, located just an 18-hour drive off campus from Florida State University, bring your own solo cup and mix some tequila with Ensure, because this woman's about to get wasted and talk about how handsome I am. Some people are saying the Pope might even be there. So set your baseball cap to sideways, because you're going to get so turned you need to use a cane. Out here we ball so hard, you bet your ass the cops are going to get called, because karaoke's cranked up to 104 and the fire department's already on standby. She doesn't have a real ID anymore and looks closer to 19 than her real age, so chip in a few bucks so she can afford the underage drinking citation. Just make sure somebody hides the drugs. Get there early for an exclusive set from DJ Doris as she proudly plays my uncle's CD from this sound system, and a surprise set from the corded phone ringing loud enough for her to hear. And our headliner, the guy who always whips out an acoustic guitar at the party, Doris.
How do you like my voice, Alex? Music on Bay, Hollywood, or maybe Broadway, or maybe they don't.
Be a part of the biggest disaster to happen in this town by standing with more than 3 other people on this rickety deck. But we all know the real party's underground. Just don't forget to bring 8 jackets, and don't turn your back on this creep. Afterwards, go back upstairs and watch her take 1 sip of Four Loko, which is more than enough for her. Just don't let her talk you into joining a fraternal order of the Catholic Church. There's no lock on the bathroom door, so that situation's gonna be a nightmare. And don't even bother with beer pong, because Doris will run the table. And you're gonna be waiting all day for her to pass this bong. She's been smoking weed every day since 1933. Look it up. Molly used to be called Doris. Oh great, she's trying to text Pope Francis. Put the cordless phone down and get down on the dance floor. Just not too down, because this carpet's gonna be 25% beer. Oh no, the shrooms kicked in. Want to crash? Just obnoxiously pull out this couch and take up 50% of the free space in the entire house. Doris, for the last time, we're not going to Taco Bell. Wait, did we just go to Taco Bell?
Okay.
Well, make sure you're not behind her in the bathroom line. But I guess while you're waiting, you can ask this party animal some questions. Like, how are your hangovers?
How are they? They're not too good.
Or what were parties like in the Great Depression?
Oh, well, we used to have some pretty good ones. I don't know where we got all the wine. We must have stolen it from somebody's cellar.
Or do you think your grandson is the life of the party?
He could be if he wanted to.
So come to Doris's 104th birthday rager and puke into one of the tiny hats she displays in the bathroom. How many other fake 104th birthday parties are you fake invited to? Look, it's gonna be crazy as hell. Is she Snooki?
What do you mean, Snooki? Oh, no, I'm better looking than her.
Well, you can't argue with that. Look, I think the reason she's lived so long is because she doesn't take a single day for granted, and she's never forgotten how to have a good time. She might be old as hell, but she's still the life of the goddamn party. How old are you now? How old are you now? How old are you now? Are you 1? Are you 2? Are you 3? Are you 4? Are you 102? Are you 103? Are you 104?
Yes. Help me blow these out. You ruined the cake. You got a lot of junk on top.
I'll wipe it off.
Oh boy. You're not gonna eat this one.
Said anything to Shonda. Oh my gosh, that was so great. I absolutely love Doris.
Many thanks to Chanda, Miss Chanda Masta from the Roar Media.
Yes, thank you for coming, Shonda.
She had to bounce because her significant other was like, "It's my turn, motherfucker," and I can relate to that sort of thing. And I think it's clear that we all love Doris in our own ways,
Yes.
collectively and individually. You know. Speaking of love, we love you, Popeye the Sailor. Be well, sleep well.
So how is everybody? Is everybody doing okay? Everybody
Brown.
hanging in there?
Ladies and gentlemen. Shanda Master, Doris Brown. How come if Shanda is famous for giving away so many buttons, why isn't she called Button Master? Oh,
What?
did I just make a new button?
Oh my god, she's the master button.
Button
Not the masturbator, but the master button. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shanda. That was awesome. I'm not even sure if she's still in the room, but you guys are, and that's what's important. We love you guys, and thank you for watching and stuff.
We are going to be having some fun people coming up on the show. We're going to have Chris, the natural prepper. She's going to come on and teach us some stuff and just hang out with us.
That's true.
We also have some other
Of course,
some other people coming on the show soon.
Of course, we want to see your Charles Manson article, Elle. What kind of question is that? That's like crazy, like Manson crazy.
Yeah, what's that?
That's like LSD and the CIA. And stuff.
Oh, what happened, Choosy? Choosy said, you've awoken from a
you've awoken from a disgusted nap. Because you're fully dressed and still have your boots on and have no freaking idea what time it is. I love when that happens sometimes, but it's more you can figure it out, right? Because it's midnight or whatever. So, but when it happens at like 6, you can't be sure. You're like, is it 6 p.m. or 8? And you can't be sure. There's a few hours like that. You have like, I think 6 to 9, basically. You could be really unsure for those 3 hours. Like, is it morning or is it night? Son of a bitch.
I know you have to look outside.
What did I fucking eat?
Like what time is it? That kind of waking up.
So is the show over? Gamers asking. No, you'll know by the last song. When I play the last song, it'll be over.
Well, did you want us to be done, Gamer?
Just kidding. I think Gamer does. He's like, all right, that's enough out of you. You got rid of the pretty blonde lady. What do we got to talk to you for? Jeez. Gosh, Gamer. How could you say such a thing?
I don't.
Not at all.
I don't know that that's what was happening.
Yeah. Said my Python boot is too tight. I couldn't get it off last night. A week went by and now it's July. I finally got it early for my girlfriend cried. You got wumpa-dum-bum-bum. Shout out to Bella for the Frank reference, and said it's a shame Popeye left. Popeye is like the biggest Frank head that I know. I think he's just he can live and breathe the
Vegan sucky Bez.
odd time signature.
This beautiful human
Lurk mode.
is going to come on and hang out with us too.
Thomas is in lurk mode. Girlfriend called when Chanda left. Good night and thank you, the accidental activist. Here, Fido. Bring the slippers. Good boy.
Susie
Arf,
said,
arf,
did
arf.
anyone else have that experience of having to do to spring forwards? I changed the clock on the stove and then a couple of days later I had to do it again. What the fuck?
Heffalumps and woozles
We
are
are
stealing my honey.
probably in a time loop. There was probably a rip in there. We had to do it again.
We might need to make some repairs. Does anybody have any time bondo? Heffalumps and woozles are trying to steal my honey. Oh, poo. Pathetic, he said.
Oh yeah, Leo
the
was
old
here.
gray donkey
Leo
sat by the side of the
disappeared.
stream, looked at his reflection and said,
Good night, Steve Wolf, dude. And you still need to come on the show. Everybody is always
yeah.
welcome to come on
Yeah.
the show. I know you guys know
I want to
that.
get the Steve Wolf burger seller guy on because I like to talk to him about some things and why it is he has so many weird last names. Huh? I have questions. I have a few questions. Vegan succubus. She's gonna upgrade her situation.
Yeah, she wants to make sure that she can come on the show and not have it drop out because it was doing that before.
Yeah, I found that if you try to do it, I don't know what kind of a computer situation you're dealing with or telephone for that matter, but certain browsers play nice with the StreamYards and other ones don't. I don't know why that is, but I've seen that be a factor for a few people's live streams.
So here's the article. Is it showing up? Yeah.
Lucky actually looks like a shaved Steve with a wig on. That's what Steve Wilbrand said.
What?
What?
I do not look that much like Steve.
What the actual?
What the F?
No, we only look the same because our chakras are in the same places. We just blend together. We share telepathetically. We're telepathetically sharing stuff and information that's classified. I've said too much. Happy full moon, everybody! And
that's a weird comment, Steve
spring
Wolbrand.
Equinox.
That was a weird comment.
Why did I have a really hard time saying equinox?
Equinox.
Equinox.
Because cursing the devil is the next best thing to praising the Lord, is what Juicy said.
Yeah, it's the Lucky and the Stever hour, and thanks for hanging out with us. We got to talk about DMT. Absolutely. I'm really I'm happy to hear that you jumped on board with the those fun guys and stuff.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is that I'm trying to say that I thought was cool.
There's some fun guys around.
There's always fun guys, but that's the thing. It's inexpensive to keep them around if you're so inclined.
Steve, are you interested in reading this article? How long is it?
Is it a long article?
I don't know.
I'll read it.
All right.
Should I start reading it now?
Sure.
In the old photo, a teenage boy smiles as he grips the judge's hand. You going to show that photo? There's no photo. All right. Charles Manson, 14, a dead-end kid who has lived in an emotional blind alley most of his life, is happy today, reads the Indianapolis news story from March 1949. He's going to Boys Town. Today, few Omahans, Omaha, like Omaha steak? Omaha.
Omahans?
Know that Mason, the infamous Manson, the infamous cult leader convicted of orchestrating the 1969 murders of actor Sharon Tate and 6 others in California, spent a brief stint at Father Edward Flanagan's children's home. Father Edward's Flanagan's children's home. The details of his time there are scarce. Manson ran away just after a few days, but Lawson McDowell, a 66-year-old local author and retired director of network operations at the Union Pacific, spent more than a year corresponding with the imprisoned Manson, researching his historical fiction book Before He Became a Monster, a story of Charles Manson's time at Father Flanagan's Boys Town, published in 2013. On Sunday, McDowell will speak about Manson's time in Omaha. The 1969 murders and the subsequent trial as part of the presentation hosted by the Douglas County Historical Society. I write mainly for myself, but also to educate anybody that wants to learn, he said. I wanted to write about Manson just to let people know that he'd been here in town and left. McDowell's book tells the story of how Manson came to stay at Boys Town and what happened during his time there, blending real and imagined events. I can't see any more of that.
Okay.
Is there more of that? Because I'm just loving it. Let's see. McDowell's book tells the story of how Manson came to stay at Boys Town and what happened during his time there, blending real and imagined events. The episode is shrouded in uncertainty, and Manson himself gave cryptic answers to some of McDowell's questions. What is certain is that Manson's admittance to Boys Town was meant to turn his life around. Manson's mother was a heavy drinker and unstable caregiver who at times found herself in trouble with the law. Her son spent much of his early life in one city or another, living with relatives or in group homes. Eventually, he was caught stealing and ended up in an Indiana juvenile court system. In 1949, the Indianapolis News ran a story outlining the 14-year-old Manson's troubled childhood. The boy, it read, had expressed a desire to become Catholic and had been daydreaming about the home in Omaha. To be Catholic in Omaha. Father Flanagan's. I think I could be happy working around those cows and horses. I like animals, Manson told the court. At his hearing, the Indiana judge encouraged him. Maybe you'll have that farm yet and be a real farmer, son. You just try hard and learn the things they teach. It wasn't meant to be. Manson's stay at the Boys Town lasted all of 3 days, said Kara Nerverf, Boys Town spokeswoman. In his book, McDowell writes, Boys Town told him 5 days. Manson himself, he writes, couldn't remember. Manson is not considered a Boys Town alumni, Nerverf said, and he never made it out of orientation. And he took off, and it was kind of the last of it, she said. In a letter to the Journal Star, a newspaper in Peoria, Illinois, Manson claimed that he ran away from Boys Town, stole a car in Lincoln, and continued to Idaho and later Peoria when the police caught him in more than one break-in. But when McDowell heard from a friend that Manson had, in fact, spent time at the Boys Town, he wanted to know more, so he decided to ask the man himself. In 2009, McDowell began writing letters once a week to Manson in Coran State Prison, asking if he'd be willing to talk about his time in Omaha. The letters went unreturned for more than 6 months until McDowell began including photos of Union Pacific trains. Manson, McDowell learned, is interested in railroads. Who knew? One night, McDowell said he received a call from a man who identified himself as an associate of Manson. McDowell explained what he wanted to know, and arrangements were made for him to speak with Manson through a telephone service for inmates. Off and on for more than 2 years, McDowell chatted with Manson. They talked about Omaha and Manson's past and the 1969 murders. True, McDowell wanted to know more about Manson's experience at Boys Town, but he also wanted to vet the inmate, who for decades has drawn attention for his odd behavior. I was scared to deal with him because of his reputation and all, McDowell said. But he surprised me at how intelligent he is and how thoughtful he is in some things.
I don't know if we want to read all of it. Do we want to read more? How much more is there?
I have no idea. You're just putting words in front of me and I'm reading them. Manson remembered his time in
it's
Omaha
not very
fondly
far.
and vividly.
All right,
McDowell
hang on.
said.
Sorry.
Okay.
Where? Oh, okay.
So if you'd like to find out more about this article,
No, I brought it back. It's not very long.
it's not very long. Okay. Manson remembered his time in Omaha fondly and vividly, McDowell said. He could recall, for example, the name of a nun who confiscated his cigarettes and specific architectural details about the Boys Town campus. Overall, McDowell said Manson gave the impression that he appreciated what the children's home had tried to do for him. So why run away, McDowell asked over and over. Manson, he said, never gave a clear answer. After a while, McDowell grew tired of Manson's phone calls, and he wrote his book, piecing together what he'd learned from their conversations. He sent Manson a copy. McDowell stopped taking Manson's calls, ready to put the story behind him. He shifted gears after the Manson book writing, Ginny Cooper's War, about the construction of the Enola Gay at what is now Offutt Air Force Base. Today, McDowell saves memories of his correspondence with Manson in a manila folder. It contains postcards addressed and signed in Manson's messy handwriting, their envelopes stamped by the California prison. Asked McDowell about how he feels about Manson, and he's clear. I'm not a Manson fan, he said. He believes the man, now 82, is a career criminal who deserves to be in jail. But at McDowell's presentation Sunday, he plans to share his take on Manson's crimes, one he knows isn't always popular with those convinced of the man's guilt. He thinks there's more to the story. All right. Who knows more about Chucky Manson? Mr. Lawson, McDowell, or
Oh, my nose.
or the psychedelic Hadron Collider marmots? The answer might surprise you.
Let's see, what were you guys saying?
I have no idea.
Hi, case study.
Well, it is Friday night. It's 12:20 a.m. It must be Saturday by now. What the hell am I talking about? Nice to see you guys.
So Elle was saying this is connected to a Franklin case cover-up with Boys Town and Lawrence King as the pedo ring. Oh my god.
That sounds about right. I have a theory about that I've talked about on here. How the intersectionality of children and adults in formal settings provides ample opportunity for pedo fucking fascistic douchebags to be predatorial.
Yeah.
And there's little to no, fucking actual numbers and stuff to know about it, but it happens constantly all the time on all of those fronts. Like wherever there's children intersecting with adults, it's fucked up.
And I think the only way to really is to stop the zombieism. I feel like we are very stuck in this loop of zombieism where it's like people are just recycling the same things over and over every day, like they're getting up, they're going to work, they're and then it's like eat, sleep, consume, just repeat.
Chucky might have seen some of that pedo action and fucking hightailed it out of there. Who knows? I don't know if it had anything to do with Phil Spector, Anthony, but Ted
Choozy
Kaczynski,
has lost
Tim
his
McVeigh.
keys and the front door was like open and stuff, and like Did the aliens come, Choosy? Like, did
Wait a
something
second.
happen? And then Little said, Choosy, I told you not to feed them after midnight. I don't know what we're talking about. Were the gremlins there?
Magwai.
Yeah, there's some rabbit holes that we could definitely go down, Anthony.
Yes.
That's why we are working on getting over onto Popo over there at the rock thing.
We want to be rock fam, yo.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
help us
what?
be rock fam, everybody.
Yeah, like we just want to be part of the family. We promised we'll behave ourselves. That doesn't mean
We will tell the truth and continue to tell the truth, and even if people don't like it,
Yeah.
especially if people don't like it. That's what I should say, because what's more
Well, the
fun
truth
than-
is what it is. you
yeah,
know,
the
and,
truth
like,
doesn't
I'm not,
give a fuck about your fucking
the truth doesn't care about your
basket-weaving
feelings.
class.
Yeah.
We
need to make peace with the truth, and that's how we're going to move forward
That is
and continue to
precisely
do that.
it. You're so right. How did you get so right? What are you, a right winger? Or some kind of right winger?
I
knew
am
it.
just who I am.
I got both my wings full. I don't know. We can talk about Angelina Jolie over there. We could talk about whoever you want to talk about. You got something to say about Angelina? Come on, just say it. The truth is like a lion. That's right. I don't know what that metaphor means, but the truth can eat people, I think is what. Is that what he?
Like Leo a lion? Leo's a lion?
Leo is a little tiny lion. He's the kind of lion where you're like, hand me that lion. Because he only weighs like 6-7 pounds. He's like a bag of flour.
Choosy said,
Doesn't need defending. Thank you.
who needs to go to the moon when you can just search for your keys with a flashlight?
Here's a weird thing. Has anybody read the stuff about the first time people went to the moon and that I forget. I think it was John Glenn who was recounting hearing the moon ring like a fucking bell when the other astronaut was banging a stake into the surface, and it sounded like a big giant bell, he said. And there's like documented evidence of that. If I'm not completely crazy, I believe I read that. So how did the bell?
I agree, Aram. It's a matter
how
of
did the moon
time.
bell get up there? That's what I'm saying. How did that work? How did the perfectly placed orbital thing that lifts and lowers the oceans get put where it is? Precisely where it needed to be to do the thing that it does. And it rings like a bell if you bang on it. I don't know. I'm just asking. Any you guys work at NASA or anything?
Oh, Chris, you're awesome. You guys make sure you gotta go over and check out Chris's channel. The Natural Prepper.
That's right.
And because you guys have wrenches, you can do that. Did you know that when you have the wrench, you could click on somebody's name and you can go right over to their channel and subscribe to them really easy?
Yep.
It's another thing I love about having the wrench is that you can easily connect right to anybody in the chats and you can subscribe to their channels.
Yeah.
The more that we are all subscribed to each other and interconnected in that way, it will be easier. You never know, what might happen, and if we know each other's channels, we can always communicate through live streams.
I think that
or like posting a video or whatever. You never know.
That it's just important, collectively for all of us to subscribe to each other and help each other grow and make their presence. Everybody who's making content, even if you're not, everybody subscribes to everybody, and then everybody will be subscribed to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a cumulative thing.
Yes, and Vicky, when on Rockfin tweeted that it's freedom for all creators. So we have been adding Rockfin on Twitter.
Oh, by the way, that was fucking fantastic.
That was amazing.
Tweet to see last night, Vicky. I was like, yes.
Tagged them and said, "Well,
She's
why are Lucky and Steve on here? What do we need to
what's
do?
the criteria? What do we got to do?
It was fantastic.
We need 500 subscribers. Fucking tell us so we can get it done. Let's go." I mean, if it really just comes down to that number, you know what I mean? I don't think it's that entirely, but who knows? Who knows what people
I don't know. We have Pasta
decided they need.
We have Pasta advocating for us. We have Kit Caballo advocating for us. We just need to get more advocates, I guess, and be the squeaky wheel. And
that's it.
We need to be over there so that we can speak more truth, because there is topics that we haven't covered that we really want to cover and go deep into, but we can't over here.
Yeah, no, it's too much. Like you say, like five wrong words and you're in jail. They're just like, oh, you can't be on for a week, and then any kind of continuity that you had with your audience is lost. They're like, well, they do a live stream now. I guess they're not. I don't know. Fuck that.
Look what Snork said.
What did Snorkel say? I used to be part of the earth. It used to be part of the earth. It is the result of a splash after a meteor strike. The ringing was due to hard pack in a vacuum. Okay. All right. I've yet to hear anybody besides you, Snork, actually answer that with an answer that I can get my head around and understand that. Okay. That seems valid. I mean, I know things sound different in a vacuum, and there's no sound because it's a vacuum, so you can't have a waveform in a vacuum. So it must sound weird, like you're outside of it or something.
Hey, Beverly, how are you? We're just kind of doing a little bit of a check-in and all of that. Just, seeing how everybody's doing. Just a little bit of a catch-up. Little catch-up at the end of the week right now. We had Chanda from Roar Media on. Good 2 hours of stream. I can't believe it went so fast.
Super fast. She's such a sweetheart. Easy to talk to. And most of the people who come on here, it seems like it's just like this flowing chat with people and getting to know them. I really, really like it. And I'm happy you guys can share that with us and being in the chat and stuff.
Yeah. It's it's such an amazing thing to have, to have the support, when we need it, and and to be here likewise, for, just all around. It's just good to know that, man, somebody can, just hold that space with me, whether it doesn't even, we don't even have to discuss what it is. Just being in the space is just, that is, it's an amazing thing, Oh, we love you guys coming and hanging out with us. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying hi.
Yeah.
Everybody. Oh. So I hope everybody had a good, good week. And, you made it through another week.
Record thing.
We are in the zombie apocalypse.
Sorry.
So
shh, don't wake up the zombies. Everybody went back to brunch. They heard that thing. They were like, oh, it's still 2008. All right, let's go back to sleep now. It's fine. Obama's got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a meme today that was like, yeah, it breaks down to this. Obama dropped a bomb every 20 minutes for 8 years.
All right, so I pulled a card from one of the 4 agreements deck that I pulled cards out of. And this one says, don't make assumptions, assume nothing. That's a really cool image. The green.
Oh yeah.
Like it. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna assume anything different.
And then here's the back.
Like a little green face guy. He looks like what's his name? From
okay.
Ho Ho Ho, Green Giant.
Okay.
He's not a P.
All right, can we stop with the capitalism ads and let me read the card?
I'm sorry. I've been indoctrinated.
Okay.
I've been syndicated.
All right, Steve. In any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think, and we don't have to say what we want. We assume they're going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should know. All right, let me read that one more time. In any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think, and we don't have to say what we want. We assume they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should know. It's a good card.
Yeah, man.
Remind people that, don't assume things and,
Assume nothing.
talk to one another.
Well, unless you're a zombie, and then just assume the position. But seriously, that guy does look like the dude from the Green Giant.
Oh my gosh, it just
Commercials.
shows how, like our entire life, like existence you can look back and it's all a jingle. It's all a fucking jingle.
Yeah. I had that revelation like years ago playing in the band, and people like, oh, fucking play something original. I'm like, everything is a jingle. Everything, every bit of music that you hear, everything has already been played. There's nothing new under the sun. It's the same things. It's how you manipulate those sounds and those notes that matter. It's just like, it's all the same though. It does not change. This is the paint. We have this many colors. You can make this color if you mix that color with that color and maybe a little bit of this color, but not too much, because then you'll fuck it all up and that won't be the right thing. People, that's what music is too in my brain. It's like different colors. It's just like you're in the giantest upholstery showroom that ever existed, with every slight variation of every color that ever existed. And they all either say, they say like B or F sharp. They say the different things on them. But that's it. Those are the colors. And that's my metaphysical musical moment with Steve. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Good night.
What?
I don't know.
What? Al put a link up in here that said everything is a remix.
Riggedy remix.
What is
Selecta?
I love your accent. Can you please say that's about Hoser? What am I supposed to say?
What's that all about, Hooser?
What's that about, Hoser? Hoser?
Take off, eh? It's like our accent is like some kind of weird amalgamation of Bob and Doug McKenzie, like that, like lived, a person from there lived in like Brooklyn, New York for a fucking couple weeks, and then they moved to Brockton, Massachusetts, and then they came back and they stayed in Hartford with their mom's new boyfriend or whatever, and then ran away. And that's our accent right there. That's how you narrow it down. It's like there's a thing that happens. It's
No.
it's a mixture of things.
I have an accent from being like all over the whole, like I lived all over the
I
United
like how
States.
Beverly is nonplussed. She's just like,
Yes.
it's just, uh-huh.
That
is it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm in agreement with that vibration.
Sometimes we just need to remember to just breathe. Do you ever catch yourself just like holding your breath, or just like holding some tension in your body, and you're just like, you can feel it, you can feel the tension of it, and just like sometimes you just need to like let it go and let it vibrate off of you. Let all that, I think about it as like mud, like this mud that's all caked on you, and it's just, you just need to shake it off, get it off, brush it off, shake it, and
it's all that like cosmic pollution and shit that gets all over you from all the
wash it
negative
away,
energy.
take a shower, think about, the water washing away all of the, the negativity and all of the things that, you've carried with you and that you need to let go of and release. And
the kids don't have to wear masks in LA school anymore. That's awesome. That is fantastic. That image
let's
of the
just
little
hope
kids
that
with masks on
spreads
is
everywhere.
just like so fucked in my brain every time I see it in a car, or somebody's in a car and this little kid's got fucking masks on. Oh my god.
Imagine if like, like if the propaganda was the opposite. Imagine if it was like positive, like, like we had this positive movement that happened, this, we were able to do this, and imagine if the energy was just completely the opposite of what it is.
Yeah.
Instead of being in the tanks all the time and just feeling so drained, imagine how uplifted we could be, how we feel in our community setting here. And if we could have that all the time, we can live in that bliss. Like we can live in a much happier environment. And imagine if it was all flipped upside down. Like nothing is ever going to just always be happy and always be rainbows. There's going to be sadness. There's going to be ebbs and flows to the thing. But imagine if it wasn't always such a negative wash on us. Imagine the impact that could have.
Could spark a lot of creativity and cool shit. I think that's what we're always trying to fucking aspire to is be in a place with other people that want those same things, the same community that they've stripped away from us. We want to rebuild that community on a smaller scale or on a parallel scale to society, and fucking, that's a noble thing. And it's absolutely, they try to fucking crush that any fucking chance they can. And you have to be clever about doing it and being effective at it and not getting crushed, because you know what I mean? But if you stay in the system, they're crushing us. So which way you want to go? You want to go on your terms, or you want to fucking, comply and wear the fucking mask and whatever? It seems like I don't understand how anybody could be like alert and awake and aware of certain things and not be completely ready for a fucking drastic change and ready for something better to leave our kids, instead of like all these illusionary games. Like, I don't know. It's crazy to me. Like if you can't eliminate the systems that are running things now, like the energy industry and the pharmaceutical industries, if you can't like find a way to augment them and get outside of them, they're gonna kill us all. That's their fucking goal. They don't want us to be They don't want things to be safe and effective. They want things to be less than that for people that don't want to play their game and be on their schedule.
We can make a change together. It's you know, like there's some shit to figure out, but I think that there needs to be a plan. There needs to be a plan in place for, you know, our group. Like, we need to know, like, there's some, you know, there's a place where we are going to meet up, or coordinates or whatever. Like, I really feel like we need to really think about this in a larger scale. And I don't think we have time. Stuff is like, it seems like it's going really fast for everyone who's aware, but the people who are super unaware and still in that zombie land and still in that cycle it's just going to continue, and it's just going to continue, and they're just going to, and I don't, there's so much that's just such unknown. I just know that we are not like the current like projection that we are on, the trajectory that we are on is not good. And I don't know if it's going to snap off suddenly, or if it's going to like just be, you know what I mean, a slow
I think the thing is
death
coming
spiral.
together. I think the thing is coming together. The people that are going to be able to break free from it as that's collapsing, the other part of this that we're talking about being a part of is growing stronger and stronger, and I think it's just going to keep doing that. And you know, says, you know, there's two paths, you know, and that's the fucking deal. You know, it's like you can see that it's been written, you know what I mean? It's been written many generations ago of these times. That's why the Revelations is the thing. That's why the Hopi Indian has their story. Everybody has a story about the end of times, and we manifest everything on this planet and probably in the universe. So we manifest this shit to happen, and we keep manifesting it. And if we're manifesting the good thing to happen, that will happen. I have no fucking doubt. But it has to be all or nothing. It's just not, you can't just phone it in, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, I might be poor monetarily, you know what I mean? But I am a rich person because I have just like such an immense amount of like love, like all around us, like all the time, around the entire world. And like the fact that in the midst of all of this, like, just absolute insanity that's happening, that we found each other and that we all connected.
Yeah.
And that it's genuine. And I know it's genuine care, because if not, you would, you know, like, I don't know. I just know it is.
Yeah, no, I have every confidence that the people that I meet in these chats and these people that care about the things and the information that they're receiving, and they're trying to share it and they're trying to affect change where they live, all of us are doing this. We all need to do this, and this is the path. This is the way to fucking do it, and a way for people to once again have faith in something, try to do something better and different, instead of just succumbing to the same old fucking, you know, built-in, you know, restricting constructs that are just, you know, we're indoctrinated in our whole every single day of our life. We have to break free from those bonds, you know what I mean? And realize that you can still stand up even outside of that shit. You can still do stuff. You can affect change. You can make things happen. You can be positive. You can put positive vibration into the fucking stew, you know? And you can do that on the regular. And if you do that, it'll affect people. and people will be affected by their change, and so on and so forth. And that's how we do it. That's how it manifests. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy if we do it correctly. You know.
I will die.
So let's
trying.
do it,
I will
people.
die trying. Like,
All right, that was your motivational speech for the evening. Thank you very much.
Beba, yeah, good Pepper. Yeah, we would love to meet up too. Yeah, like let's email Steve, stevecutlerlive@gmail.com. Come on and like let's do a stream, or we can zoom off of here, or like
Yeah,
I
whatever.
really whatever in whatever way, like I really like I'm true to this. What I'm saying is true. Like I really want to have intentional community and help people, like we're not in a position to help. Like I'm not I'm a poor ass fucker, but I will I will help any way that I possibly can, to bring people together in our community. I mean, I think that we have a network, and there's clusters of us in certain places too. And I know we want to relocate and get mobile, and be able to go out there and meet everybody and do streams like with people, like with you guys.
Yeah, in the same room. Hey, good night, Christine. Thanks for hanging out with us. I forgot I had something else to say, and now I've completely forgot it because you're like said stuff. You said stuff and it distracted me.
Chris said there has to be a turning point when the regular people join together against the elite and want to reign over our left and right working class.
Exactly. All right, I'm getting fucking punchy, mama.
Yeah, me too. We're gonna wrap this up and see. Get prepped or die trying. Yeah,
damn straight. That is a fair statement.
Oh.
Hey, Rem. And thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thanks, Elle. Thanks, Jilly. And Baba Yaga.
Yeah, we need it. We need land. We
Beverly,
need somewhere. We need
Anthony.
basically somewhere to establish this. Like if we get land, then we can start from there and we can go. Like that's like the biggest thing of what we need is location.
Vicky Adams. What else we got here? Jesus. Steve Wolfberger.
And take care of our people. Like I don't want people to feel like they're going to be left out if they they don't have the means to physically come and do something. That doesn't mean that you don't have skills, and you don't have that you aren't part of the community. Knowledge. Everybody has
Let's go
knowledge.
squat out fucking Gates's land, man. Fuck them.
I've been thinking that too.
Go.
A lot of that.
Let's go. We can take out their droids.
Snork said
droids. Snork
West Virginia or Northern Tennessee.
Thanks everybody who was here earlier too. I know we had a nice selection of other humans who may not have
unleashed the marmots. And all of our fur babies want to be definitely welcome.
Unleash the marmots.
Yes, Little wanted to make sure that we could have
be a part of the marmot
a
revolution.
wombat,
Apparently we're okay with wombats, Little said. I think unleash the marmots, sure. Marmots, wombats, whatever you got, we're critter friendly. I think that's the point. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and arrivederci. We'll see you tomorrow after the Beauty and the Boomer. I'll play a live thingamabobber and pick some tunes.
Yes, Stork, you should come on and do some stuff about location and prepping and like all this, because you know a lot about purifying water.
He knows about water and
lots of things,
gardening and all sorts of fucking stuff. That's the other thing. The other resource. This crowd, this chat is resource heavy. Like there are people who know things about lots of things. Lots of people and a diverse knowledge base
Mhm.
of botany and geology and just all the earth sciences and things like that, and just mechanical sciences and just all kinds of cool shit, man. Really, really incredible. Like between here and some of the other people too on Roar and on the Rock Fen, some of the Combo fam and the Slow News Day fam, just amazing the people that you meet. And they're
We're
all walks of
super
life.
like it's amazing, and like we're just I feel lucky knowing all of you and knowing that we all have each other, and make peace with truth, fam. Keep speaking the truth no matter what. I get a lot of shit for telling the truth, but I won't stop. And I won't stop believing that we can have a better future. We love you.
Hydrofield cuts through my neighborhood. Somehow that always just made me feel good. And I can put a spare bulb in my hand, light up my yard. Late at night when the wires in the walls sing in tune with the din of the falls. I'm conducting it all while I sleep to light this whole town.
I forgot to say, hey, make sure that you guys go over to Steve Cutler Live and subscribe over there. I think we got a thing for that. We got a thing for that. We got a thing for that. This thing where you can watch Leave It to Stever. We have a thing for that. Oh, there we are. There we are. All right. Night, fam. We love
Night.
you.